Hello and welcome to the live stream. I think I'm the only one here right now, but I just wanted to do a real quick sound test. You may hear an echo in a minute. It also gives me an idea of how long it actually takes between when you guys speak and when I hear it. There we go. So we'll close that screen altogether. And I think the thing to do is to start with a little bit of a summary here. It's usually what I do before some people get in as to where we're at. Let's start out by taking a quick look at our population. So our population, and I'm a little bit early here too, so as far as if you're watching it live or if you're watching it in return, we'll see. So what did we do last week? We got the rest of our town built. We designed out this. We started paving these roads. One of the things I thought about that I'd like to do, just because I was looking around before it goes, so we started to decide to do our Agra industry. And I think I'd like to take a few of these dump trucks and move them over. So if anybody is watching, we can vote on that, right? And yeah, so let's take a look. How is our population doing? Yeah, we're still in the first year, so there's no sense in doing last year. Well, we're not growing massively, but we're not shrinking. We've had no escapes, which is a real good sign. We had quite a few deaths, so I guess we are shrinking by 2 people. So hopefully we can get that up a little bit, but we plan on, we're going to need to build some houses as we build up our Agra industry. And yeah, I'm not sure that there's really that much to see this early on when it comes to this stuff. When it comes to our money, this is a good screen here to see how much. So we're minus 27,000 in the first 7 days of this month. So what about this year? Yeah, you can't even hardly look at that because we've done a lot of this is going to be construction money. If we did take a look at our domestic production, I think that tends to give you a better idea of what we're making. So we overall have produced only 5,600 rubles worth of stuff. And our industry alone took 5,900, right? And then our citizens are using 10,000. So this is really, in some ways, these 2 numbers here, the big ones. Vehicle fuel, I mean, that'll go down if we do less construction. But so we really need to get to the point we're making at least 15,000 or so of stuff, I think, before we start running into problems. So there we go. So yeah, as far as that goes, that's where our economy's sitting. I'll probably get really fired up and going if people aren't here by 2:15, we'll get going. But the other things we decided to do was to build a railroad station over here so that we didn't have to spend money on this like super expensive bridge to get a railroad bridge, and we'll just have to truck across this old rickety wooden plank bridge here. So hopefully that'll go pretty well, at least to get us some exports. So as soon as we get the Agra business started, which will get us up here, is going to be our livestock farm. And then I think right here we have a distillery. And then right here we have a food factory, and both of those share a silo. So when we do put in our Agra farm, we'll be able to truck the food right into here. And then over here we have a slaughterhouse, and this is another one of the livestock ranges. So what I plan on doing, just to keep things kind of close to where people are working, where we could maybe put a bus stop or just even have them walk over here, is put a road from like this point. This is a road cargo station. So we'll have a road that comes along here, and the trucks will be able to drive over to here. And then the other trucks will be able to come in with their crops, whatever. I don't know that we'll get too many people going on this road versus trying to come straight. That sort of depends on what we do with the fields. So one thing I think I could do to get started would be to sort of level out a bit of an area. I'll leave it paused so that we don't, it's a little bit cheaty that we won't use any fuel, but it'll also keep these guys from running out of fuel and causing me to stop. So let's see. I don't necessarily need it level, but we do need sort of a flat spot here, right? Yeah, which we more or less have, to be honest. Yeah, that's all flat enough, but where we really need it to be a little bit flatter is over here. So how ambitious. I don't think we really need that many fields. And I would plan on maybe putting the farm over here. So let's come up to here and see how big a big field would be. So if we put our farm down in that area, we're talking about, you know, like say here is one, and then this would be the next one. You know, I want to do this a little more intelligently. Let's leave room. I'd like to, well, you know what, I'm not even going to worry about doubling that too much, but yeah, if we said here, we're talking about right by where that hill is right there. So let's get a dirt road, like, yeah, right there. So that's going to be a nice little marker for me to put the next one down. Not put it down, but, you know, if we stayed on the other side of that, we're talking about leveling to about that pine tree right there. Try to keep my eye on it. Yeah, like here. Oops. Like here. So if we leveled this, we could probably get 4 big fields in this area. We're not leveled, but flattened it enough, right? So there's my road, right? Yeah, so yeah, that's a little bit much right there. But then again, if we kind of try to eyeball it, yeah, let's just start going for it. We might have to take this hill off a little bit. I like to use the paved roads. All right, now can we... There we go, good. I wasn't sure if we'd be within range or not. Yeah, let's just get rid of that as a starter. And what I think I'll do is... Yeah, you know, as a matter of fact, take that down a little bit. Exciting leveling on the live stream, right? It's all got to get done. Like I said, by 2:15 we'll start it up for real. All right, so we kind of want to, yeah, we don't want to get all into that. So we're going to stay down in this area. Let's just see what we can't level over this way. That's kind of reasonable. Hey, Buddha Speaks, welcome back. And Shunter, welcome back. And Snadjapa World Dead. Domestic production, I don't know how you would like me to call you, but I can't really say your username. Snadjpa? Snadjpa? I don't know. You tell me. What would you like to be called verbally? Hello, Off the Rails. Welcome back. Glad to see you guys are all here. What I decided to do was, before we start the time up, you know, give people a chance to get in here, was to do a little bit of leveling so that we could put in a few farm fields, since I figured this probably wasn't the most exciting. I did actually have a question in one of the comments about how to level. So I figured, well, you know what? Here you go. Somebody will. So this isn't actually level. This is more about flattening, right? So we'll get a flat enough area that we can get some farm fields in. So let me go from like here to here. Spin around, and we'll just kind of rinse and repeat. Turn it yellow so we don't build it. Good. So Snadjpa, is that okay, you think? Good. All right. So there you go. So what we'll do is we'll just sort of flatten out this area. It shouldn't take too long. You know, again, not... I use the word level, but it's really not level. But we don't need it to be level, right? We just need it to be not so steep that the farm fields wouldn't get in there. I think we could cheat this guy over a little bit more. I don't know if that'll make a difference. So what I'd like to do is, in whatever limited area we have here, get whatever fields we can. I don't think we need 3,700 fields. 12 big fields is in the ballpark of, and it sort of depends on how far away they are and all that kind of stuff. But 12 big fields is about what a farm can handle. I mean, you might be able to get it set up where you could handle a bit more, but yes, well, there you go. See, I just swung it a little bit, get it turned yellow. And I also, kind of, either way, it's, I think it's one of those like boring things in life that I would never criticize exactly too much how other people do it one way or the other. Like, yeah, your way works, my way works. I mean, I've done it so many different, it's like, it's like when I cut my grass, I don't have one pattern that I cut the grass. So if you come over one day, you may find I'm doing it this way. The next day, you may find I'm doing it that. But I know what you're saying. Like, if you just come here and, like, yeah, see, sometimes, that's why, like, see, sometimes it doesn't work so well. Like, when you get into certain areas, it does. But anyway, this will be fine. Yeah, we got to get this hill taken out first right here. Oh, you know what? That's my little road. Yeah, well, when you got a little road in the way, our little marker road, so we know we could get two big fields lengthwise in here if you missed the very beginning. So I don't know if you guys have come up with any different opinions about what we're doing over the course of the last week, but please let me know. Like I said, I tend to agree. Is Pietro here yet? I know he wants us to do oil. I don't disagree with him, but this does cut down on our expenses more than the oil does, right? Yeah, see, this is where, if I can get that to turn yellow. Yeah, see, the problem with the only other problem is it tends to lock up the tool gets locked up sometimes. Like, once it gets everything real green, see, now it won't level until it gets yellow again, right? Yeah, and see, now that's sort of, yeah, there we go. So that's the only other problem with moving it too much side to side until you get it like this. But no, this works fine. And again, we're only putting in farm fields. This does not need to be laser leveled or anything, right? Yeah, so I think I just want to do the rest of it from this point, one way or the other. Now, I don't think leveling will have any effect on the town. Yeah, and see when you change. So one of the reasons, because I know that's not really level on the other side, like I kind of want the whole thing to be sloped down a bit, if that makes sense. Yeah, might as well. Yeah, see, when we get it, turn it red. Yeah, see, now it's green. It's like all locked up. Because I couldn't get it to turn red. I probably could have pulled it closer to me, couldn't I? Nah, see, look. Yeah, there we go. It flashed yellow. Now I'll be able to level again. Can I get it to... There we go. Flashed yellow again. All right, let's take a look at what we have. Yeah, not too bad, right? A little bit off right up here. That's probably because it's a little bit steeper. Now, this is where I talk about my smoothing tool, right? If you don't stay in any one place too long, you can kind of use this to just sort of smooth out some things. Like, if you stay in the same place too long, it starts really leveling more than you want it to. But, this sort of takes out some of those extra little dips like I have down in here. Yeah, see how I start to form like if you leave it on there too long, you start to form like a little yellow wave or orange wave. This, sort of knocks down the high points. If you use it like you have epilepsy or something. There we go. Plus we can get rid of those trees. There we go. That's definitely close enough, right? What do you guys think? We should be able to get quite a few fields in there. Now, I didn't really want to build this road, so I think let's get rid of our wireframe for a minute. And do you guys have any questions or comments? I think what I'd like to do, just for the sake of speeding this along a little bit, is take these two dumpers and assign them to this construction office. It's not like they're not right across the street from each other, and we can bring them back. But I think that will speed up this a little bit, right? So that we can get, we have some designing to do, but I want them to build this road so that we don't cause too many problems. Because I think I want to build a road like straight down here, even though they'll have to turn to come into here. And then I'd like to leave enough room. We can start planning this out. So let's see. Do you guys have any questions? How do you mean till they sort the roads out? I'm not sure I understand. I like the leveling. I mean, but then again, I always like terraforming abilities in games. Like, I find it soothing. Like, so for me, I just don't find it to be bad. I mean, it's probably some form of insanity. I'll grant you that, but you know, I just don't find it to be that bad. You know. All right, so I think that building comes out to like here. Yeah, so we don't want to be up on that building. Yeah, you know what? We need to get. Yeah, we definitely need that attached. But what I'm thinking of is, why don't I go like this? Yeah, we want this to be a paved road. Then like that, and then we can just come skimming right past this building, more or less. All right, and then once these guys get paved, that way we don't have to sign them a new job, and we don't need to really build these until we get it. Because I like when it's just one job. They do go faster, even if they're on the auto search, because they get through each phase more quickly. You know, they keep running materials over there. Well, you know, I did actually look at it, and it's way over realistic now. Like, in other words, the roads that you can build now are like way more steep than any road in the entire world, other than like some mountain goat path kind of roads. Like, there is no normal paved road in the world that's as steep as what you can already build. And they've already made it easier. And I think that you're really taking a lot of the strategy of the game away. I don't even really like, look, leveling is part of the game now, whether I like it or not. But I liked the way it was in the beginning when we didn't have all of this, right? When it was like the strategy was you only could build in certain places unless you really wanted to go through this tedious leveling process. So what I've done is, that's why you see, like, my regular playthrough would be a lot different. You wouldn't be able to do what we just did here. It would make it much strategically harder, in my opinion. So I hope that what they do is that, yeah, if you want it to be easier to place roads, there should be a setting where the leveling and all is easier, and that's fine, right? Like, so let's anyway, yeah. So I'm not a big fan of the leveling or making the game easier. You know, like, why not just go play City Skylines at some point where you could build 45-degree up roads? But that's just, you know, it's a personal opinion. It's not a you're right, I'm wrong. You know, it's some people want it to be easier, find a challenge in other things, you know. All right, so anyway, let's get going. What I want to do is just kind of hold enough aside that we could put one of these in, right? So if we just even counted, that's like 5, 10, 12, right? We could say we go like 12 on this side before we put our first field in. Maybe a little bit extra. Oops, I clicked the wrong button. Now the fields, yeah, that would be, no, you know what? Are we ever going to expand this? Honestly, yes, possibly, right? And I could definitely see another one of those going on this side. So what if we, where are we going to put our farm? I think the farm should be over on this side, but we'll put the farm like facing this way, like kind of even with where it would attach there, and then we'll go like 12 away. How's that sound? And that stupid thing's right on my way. That's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And like down like there. Yeah, so if we had to, we could, because we have a little more room because this road's sloped, we could kind of shove another, I don't know if we wanted more food or another distillery like kind of in front of this. This road could squeeze through, and then if we really wanted more of the livestock farms, like we're already kind of planning where we could put some more back here. Now, one of the things that they've implemented, I think even since last week, is pollution. So pollution is something that we need to keep in mind. So I think we're going to be okay because these aren't overly high polluters, but we do need to keep that in mind, as like we don't want to build too close to town. Yeah, it exactly. Like, yeah, the move and store things, I think no matter how you do the current leveling system, you're talking about like magic. You know, like look at all this. Where did the dirt all go? Like, I don't know how you would make it a little bit more challenging and yet, keep track of the dirt. All right. So anyway, so there's where our farm will be, right? So we'll eventually, well, I think we should build this road over there kind of right away, right? Just because even if it makes two projects here, I think it's kind of worth it. You know, there'll be two road, but this will be like the first road we want to get done, and then we'll have other roads that, depending on where this next field lines up, and we could maybe do like, well, let's leave some space, but depending on how this lines up, we could do like smaller fields too. Hello, Steve. Welcome. Yep, I hope everybody's having a good time. I am so far. Yeah, that pollution doesn't mess around with killing people dead, does it? It's like bug spray for them, you know? I just sprayed some ants the other day because it's sort of that time of year where they start coming in, and I put this stuff, in the basement. And anyway, man, those things drop dead quick with that stuff, whatever the heck's in it. Definitely wouldn't want to drink any of that. All right, so now what am I doing? I'm looking for a farm field. And this, yeah, can we get, yeah, now that I did all that, I don't know if we made enough room to put two of these in that way. Now, I don't want to go so close that we can't get a road behind it, right? Yeah, see, I don't care if it ends up that hill a little bit as long as it works. So there you go. So that's one big farm field. Now, did we leave enough room after all our figuring to put another field this way? No, it might have to come down here, or do we do, well, let's see. Let's put another big field this way. And then, well, let's put a road first. For now, we can just put dirt roads, right? Though if we ever put dirt roads, it's hard to ever pick them back up. Yeah, so the dirt road would fit there, just as a marker. Do we want to at least do a gravel road? Gravel road's 60 miles an hour. The only thing that would get slowed down is the trucks going in and out. So like when we buy our covered hauls to haul the crops, and they're going to get slowed down with either one. But the other truth is you do get better gas mileage. You know what? Let's just do a gravel road. There we go. At least up to, like, say that point. Because I think sometimes it seems like you can't put them back down after the fact. Yeah, well, like in old Revergrad in the regular playthrough, there's one of my bigger concerns is the loss of the educated people. That's the only place that we're getting educated people from. So, so it's a pretty big concern. All right, so I need flat terrain. What? Oh, because you can't build on rocks. Okay, let's see. There's a medium field. You know what? Can't build due to infrastructure. Let's get this road past here. Building in the way. Okay, good. Well, I'm glad we noticed that. Oh, really? That building's quite in the way. Well, what do you think's going to happen, Buddha Speaks, when you play? Have you played it yet? I think you said last week that you've never played, right? There we go. And then I don't think that's going to look too good. No. Now let's get rid of this. And we'll do the old bypass road trick. There we go. And then we'll just bulldoze this little bit. There, so that way, whatever field we get in here, we're taking up a little extra space, but not too much. Yeah, the game is unforgiving in certain ways. Yeah, so we're going to have a problem with these. I didn't even really think about those dirt splots. That's all right. We might end up with some smaller fields. But the game is definitely unforgiving if you don't do certain things, you know? Yeah, see, that's kind of big. How about a small field? Yeah, we could get like a little small field right in here, right? Might as well bring it up this way. And then, let's see, where would a big field? Yeah, you know, a big field. Right, another big field right there. And then could we get another one in? Yeah, see, we got rocks to the left and rocks to the right. Can we get closer this way? No, not really. Yeah, and if we level further out that way, we're going to run into more rocks. So that's not so great. Now, how about down here? Can we get... No, we're not getting any more big fields in. So I think that's the end of our big field. That's the end of the big fields. All right, so you're running into that road mostly. Yeah, yeah. I think the first time I ever came close to death was because we didn't have any teachers, and I didn't realize how important they were. That's rocks anyway, so we can't build there for the rocks. Can we get one in like, oh yeah, like that's pretty good. Tucked up there, right? I think we got enough room to make a road past here. And then we got those rocks right there. Right, we're not going to get much else in, even if I wiggle that around a lot. And then what about here? Can we get... Yep. Then probably just on the other side of these rocks more. Yes. And we don't have to farm all these fields, right? So, but we're getting awful close to that town. I hope fields don't mess up the town. And do we even want to get that? Let's hold off for now. We got enough going on. Let's see. Can we get one? No, not really. I guess my rule of thumb is that you're better off with them closer, right? Like, in other words, we're better off with the road facing, like, the shortest road to the farm. So rather than turn this guy around and face him that way, we'll face him this way. And hopefully, I mean, they're only farm fields. It's not like they cost us anything. We can get rid of them. There you guys. What do you guys think of that? So we got field, 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 and then, yeah, we got a little field right here. I'm reading the chat or two. Yeah, this wouldn't. I don't know what they're planning on updating in the next few weeks, but with the whole pollution thing, it's certainly not a bad time to consider restarting your map. You know, I don't know if they're gonna like, you know, are they going to start ramping up their, ramping up the rate at which they change things? There we go. We'll attach this guy. And then I won't put these roads. Well, you know what? I'm going to put the end ones in. Well, here's another question. Now, I don't really want these trucks on this road. I'd rather keep this road a little less trafficy. So we'll just, what happened to my, I don't know if you guys noticed that, but my triangle disappeared. Let's put that guy there. Little delete action. Nice. And then this one here. Can we come right off of there? Oh, yeah. And then, let's see, can I do something like this? No, not even like that, like that. And that should make this turn nice and tight. And I know I've got a bunch of little road projects. We won't attach that one. This one already attached to the node. I'd like to get, all of this kind of worked on. Like this big road will be good to get worked on while this does, and then we'll have these little ones to make up. So there we go. So we're paused an awful lot, aren't we? And it's after 2:15. So let's start this up again. And welcome to the stream. Now we're officially beginning, right? And so there's our agribusiness. What else are we missing from our agribusiness? Let's commit to those roads, right? Well, we need to get this attached up. I might just redo this whole section at that point. Right? That'll be a paved road. So there'll be a paved road to all of these buildings, but then we'll have like gravel roads to those over there. Remember, we should check on things too. Let's turn off the wireframe because that's annoying. And I'm going to take a minute here to catch up on your chat so I don't miss too much. And yeah, well, we're making gravel. How many people? Well, we got 12 people up there, which 12 out of 15 is really not bad, right? And then what do we have? We just need a couple people. Yeah, we don't really need 5 people in here, but it's fine. Now, do we have this guy dividing up nicely? Yeah, it's 7 and 84. Good. Yeah, so we should be making gravel now. We don't have to pay for that because that was actually, so it's not free, but these roads in here become, much better to do in gravel when we're making it ourselves, right? Yep, and let's see. We'll keep an eye on the progress here while I read a couple of your chats. See, most of the chats seem to be about the pollution. Buddha speaks, as far as I know, I haven't heard of anything. I thought about reducing pollution And the only thing I know of that might reduce the effects is the hospital. But I don't know if you guys have seen the last couple episodes. Like the hospital in Old Revergrad didn't really seem to help that much, to be honest with you. It's like they died, like I said, like they were getting sprayed by bug spray or something, you know? Yeah, it's pretty warm here. I don't know. I never really know the Celsius off the top of my head. Oh, and a little bit of a warning. If you guys, I don't know if you've watched my streams before, but you may, I have my weather radio and I'm going to mute it as fast as I can. But if I mute the mic after you hear this horrendous screech, that's why. I don't really want to turn it off for, I don't know, just reasons. But let me just see how many Celsius we are for those of you that do this. 33 Celsius here today. So it's getting up there. Not blazing hot, but hot enough to be uncomfortable, at least in my opinion. So anyway, but we also may have a thunderstorm come through. So hopefully it doesn't knock out the power or anything stupid. I don't know. It looks like looks still a few hours away, so might be in good shape. Might happen right as the stream ends. Yeah, that was, I think, one of Steve's earlier suggestions about the hospital. And now, I didn't put any farms across the river yet. I think we should get these guys going. So here is the farm itself, and then they'll feed that's the livestock farm. We'll get these roads connected up. So they might even just feed the livestock farm directly. We'll see what happens. It doesn't really have its own silo at this point, right? Maybe we'll put the silo behind it. But then we have a silo here, which we can get to our distillery and our bakery. And then across the street here, we have the slaughterhouse. And even though that looks disjointed in some ways, what I figure is that it's better to have the people a little bit closer. So like if we were to put a bus stop in here, we could probably do like footpaths if we needed to most of this stuff. And so it keeps the industry a little bit closer along this road. But yeah, I'm going to check out if the hospital has more effect on them. In the past, it really didn't. But if they were in there messing with the pollution mechanics, there's a good chance that that's like a similar chunk of the code. So I definitely believe that they might do that. So anyway, what we'll have here is a livestock hall for like where the livestock can get stored. And then we'll have over here is another one of those livestock halls. So we can have at least a truck going. Remember, in this beginning, I would like to get Pietro his oil, right? Like getting another oil industry going. In some ways, this game, I've learned, is more about this spreadsheet than any other one, right? Like if we look at last month's numbers, it's as much about making more than you're spending. And, of course, this other sheet comes right into it, like where you're going to, but this number down here is the number you're looking for. And it's really, in some ways, the combination of these two. Now, of course, we have vehicles nowadays, right? Not that I've gotten into them, and not that we will for quite a while, but, if we're not importing or exporting many vehicles, which we're at zero, so we're not going to look at that. And then the foreign manpower, this is why we don't want to, build too many things without, like, auto purchasing things going to really run that up. Let's see, can we do this year? Yeah, see, look, we spent, so far this year, 142,000 of our dollars on those things that we auto built, right? So I'm not sure, the imports are the imports. We're only making gravel at this point, but we would have quite a bit more money if we hadn't auto built things. So good. I think this might be new, this foreign manpower thing. But that's interesting. I'm glad to see that. I don't remember seeing it before. Maybe I didn't look close enough. I tend to miss things sometimes. Immigrant invitations. Yeah, we haven't had too many of those. We're not supposed to have any. Why do we have a number there? Oh, average cost. Okay, that's not. We have 0. And that's one of our rules, right? We're not allowed to invite anybody. We just have to use the people that are on the map. Speaking of which, let's just keep a quick eye on folks. Yeah, we're still getting more deaths. We probably need to build a hospital. What do you think? Do we plop a hospital in here? I mean, with the conversation that you guys were just having in the chat. And by the way, there is the Discord channel. I don't have the stream. I mean, the link is in like every video, maybe even in the live stream video there, is it? Let me look real quick. Oh, I don't have it open. But anyway, like, you guys can go and talk on there if you wanted, just so you know. I mean, if you're going to chat, I'm not going to really read the Discord chats too much, but if you wanted to have a conversation with each other, by all means. Yeah, so let's see. Hospital. I mean, it's going to be a little bit expensive, but I think probably worth it. Yeah, probably. Do they give you a price for the people? Manpower is not on this list. Yeah, everything goes up. That's another thing to really consider when you're starting on these hard starts. And the big thing is like the fact that we're not going out of steel, we're not going after steel might kill us. Because it might become so expensive to get our first steel mill built that we can't, like, we almost can't produce enough stuff to ever be able to build the steel mill. So we definitely have to keep, like, it's already up over 400 where it started out like 380 or something like that, But anyway, I'm going to plop a hospital down. I don't hear anybody. I know I have to give you guys a chance for the delay, but 'cause I think that we're losing too many people. So where do we want to put said hospital? I don't think it really needs to be. We're not, well, we may put more houses that way, but I'm thinking right here. I don't know that they need to walk to it, do they? What if we put it like, yeah, just like, well, that's too close to that one. I can't really see because that stupid helper sign is in the way. Now it doesn't look like it's very square to the road from here. Right? And then and here's the other thing. Why don't we buy another dump truck or two for here? They're only going to go up in price, and if we can't build electricity, well, yeah, we're going to use those dumpers for bringing material over to here for the railroad track builders, if nothing else, even if we don't pave that many more roads. So I think having a couple more dumpers is we'll just put them back in here, right? And then let's get this guy to work on this road here at the very least. And then we can get him hopefully to build that hospital. Now, how much does that hospital? Yeah, 43 steel is not overly cheap, but not too many of the other things. Like, remember, we cut down on the cost of the concrete and the asphalt. Yeah, and I don't know. To me, what makes this game more than any other single thing is the construction offices. So I had a comment this week. It's not that I am, it's not that I'm against auto building, but yeah, first of all, it costs you a lot more money. You get less done in some ways in the long run. Now, of course, it might take you a bit longer, but at the same time, that's what makes this. I almost wish you could turn off the auto build, other than I know that it's necessary for getting started, and sometimes you run into goofy situations where you want to cut this power line here, and then there's no way to, like, without destroying the whole power line, there's no way to just get a construction crew here. So there's some cases where you kind of have to use it. But other than that, I'd rather I like the construction aspect. I don't mind that the game takes longer, if you guys haven't noticed. To me, that's kind of all part of the fun. So good. What are we doing? Are we paving now? Yeah, this is where having the extra dumpers now. Are we getting good asphalt out of here? Yeah, we got 3 workers. Gravel. Yeah, sometimes it's deceiving that it doesn't have any gravel. So we are still purchasing gravel. Why is that? Missing. Why are we not? Really? You pulled in there and then the excavator couldn't get in? You dummy. I don't think I ever really noticed that before. Now, were you filling up yourself? I don't know. Now, where are you going? Oh, you're out of fuel. Well, what are you doing? Okay, well, whatever. Oh, you know what? I think I remember him leaving the gas station before. And now see, he's going to go back. He was at the gas station at the end of the last episode, and I think maybe we didn't have power or we didn't have something, and he like just decided, to hell with it, I'm not waiting any longer. I think that was like what I remember saying that at the very end. Now this guy pulls in. Is he actually getting stone out of there? No, I think he's anticipating that we might have workers in here, right? But since we don't have any workers, he's clogging up the works. So we have to get back up here once this guy gets fuel in him and get him back up there working. I don't remember ever having this. Oh yeah, look, he is getting stone. Pretty quick rate too, isn't he? Huh. Is that because this guy now has fuel? I don't know. That's kind of weird, isn't it? Yeah, look, they're filling up with stone, and there's no workers. Well, it does say, but it is counting a mechanism. Huh. All right. Well, that's why we didn't have a problem. That's certainly they wanted to make your life a little bit easier, so the code lets these guys fill up as if the excavator's there. I think I might have remembered seeing that in the past, but whatever. We're just going to move on now that we've got gravel coming in, quarried stone coming in, right? Good. We don't want to be spending too much money. How much of this are we purchasing? 34. Okay. So if we're above 34, it means we're good to go. All right. So what do you guys do? Oh, there was a little tiny section of road there. Okay. Yeah, and see, this is what I mean. Like, now nobody's hauling any materials. Like, when you get the big, long stretches, I think overall you're a little more efficient. Now, that guy just disappeared, didn't he? Oh, I wonder if that's a function of the auto search. Because I don't usually use that auto search, so it just caused that guy to disappear. Where normally he would drive back at 2 miles an hour or 2 kilometers an hour. Well, I guess that's like 5 kilometers an hour. Let me read some of these chats again. Yeah, you don't need workers in the quarry if you have a mechanism. So, like, as long as you have the mechanism there, so I'm not going to worry about workers in the quarry. But the fact is, I didn't have a mechanism. Well, I mean, the mechanism's there in a sense, but it was off getting gas, and these guys were still filling up, which it's just weird, right? Like, if this guy's off getting, how are you getting it if you have no workers and the mechanism's at the gas station? How is it still filling up the trucks, right? Oh yeah, no, I never put workers in my quarry, at least not since like the very beginning or whatever. Really? Well, there it goes. You can see there's no workers, but we're definitely getting, some pretty good stone. We could probably put another truck just based on the distance if we wanted to. Let's see. And again, we got to watch our money. It is ticking down. If we don't need it, but we do have a lot of trucks going to the asphalt plant, don't we? And like we could even consider another quarry up here. Let's see. I mean, unless we have trucks waiting, you can probably put another one in, but let's let them get to a good flow too. And because there's also going to be times that'll get caught up. Like this is a pretty big thing. If we can get ahead, then you got a pretty big buffer here for those. We're just using it like as soon as as soon as they dump it in here, we're using it again. But yeah, no, you definitely don't need workers there, which is good. And by the way, Buddha Speaks, that's exactly why we're here. This is my biggest hope with this live stream is that we can each learn from each other. There's going to be things you learn, like the other. I mean, I've learned a lot from people's comments. Heck, I didn't realize the pollution thing was going on. If you watch this morning's regular episode, you'll know. Caught me by surprise there. I had all kinds of plans for Neuve Revergrad and rail stations over the hills, and now I'm dealing with the crisis. Tomorrow's episode is how do we deal with the crisis of the pollution in old Revergrad. We're in half decent shape. Like I don't think it's doomed us because we have multiple cities, and as I started building the cities, they were more with this kind of a layout where I didn't put the industry right in the town. So I think another thing we can do besides me talking too much is I think we could start putting these houses in, right? Like this was the line where we would probably be too far for them to go. And considering that these will be polluting. The other thing I tended to notice about the pollution in like if we come over here to construction, and I think, yeah, this one's a pretty good one to look at. Notice it seems that this is, and again, I don't know the whole mechanism, but this one pollutes, where is it? 14, the cement plant. So I think you're going to get a radius effect, right? So like 14 is going to pollute like out to this area at least. Where these, like this is the distillery. Let's go back over to the food ones. Like the distillery produces 11. So, this is going to pollute into like maybe this area, I think. Where this one, which is the food factory, only pollutes 7.5. So it seems like the more polluting the thing is, the more of an issue it is with the, with the pollution there, right? Like it goes further from the plant, which makes a lot of sense, right? But those pollution stations don't seem to work. So I'm not sure. Yeah, I mean, I'm definitely going to be studying it more in the next week or so to make sure our people are safe. But it certainly seems, so I'm hoping that putting these houses in here is the bottom line, is that, we're in pretty good shape. So let's talk about how many people we need, right? So what do we have? We have, well, the livestock costs, we need people for a livestock farm, distillery, bakery, and a slaughterhouse. Now, we don't need all the people in there. I mean, I think for the distillery, it'd be good to max out. It would be good to max out the food bakery and this, but then we really only need a few people to come down to the slaughterhouse. So how many actual residents will that need? So when it comes to, you know what? We can't really tell, can we? No, maximum number of workers. Is that for the construction or is that for work? Yeah, I think these guys do need, so you can triple these numbers. So maximum number of workers is like per shift, an 8-hour shift. So 3 a day. So that would be like 300 for the distillery, and let's just, because it's a nice round number, 600 for there. We're up to like 900. And then the slaughterhouse is only going to, it has a maximum of 50. But if we just added another 100, we're up to 1,000 people. What did I miss? The farm doesn't need any. Livestock hall doesn't need any. Did we put a meat storage over here? Yes, good. What's wrong, Buddha Speaks? Yeah, it's not like it. Yeah, it's not a real big radius off the rails. But where you're in there, it affects the living heck out of them. Now, I don't know if there's like it does seem like there's a little bit of a weakening effect. It's like, I don't think it's, I do think there might be an area in here where it would be like not real good. like, but like if anybody lived right here, they would just like leave and die immediately. Where if they lived here, they'll leave and die slowly, kind of thing. So they might rebalance it. Who knows? You know, I would hope they tested it fairly well. But we'll try to keep our houses as far over this way as we can. And we said we need about 1,000 people, I think. You know, it wouldn't hurt if we had a few more, which would mean, and that's to really kind of max this out. We don't have to worry about necessarily maxing it all out this moment, right? Just get it going. People. So what I was picturing, people ask me why I like these houses so much, and I don't really want these, if I can help it, on the main road. See, because they fit in. Yeah, I might even be able to, I think I could get 2 in here. Let's go as close to that footpath as I can. Let me zoom in a little bit. Can I get another one? There. That's why I like these houses. That's, you know, they're still, pound for pound, they're still, I don't want to say the best houses. They're only 83% quality. But look, there's 150 people right there. Other than I didn't get a road to attach to this one, did I? Let's see. Can I get the road? Yes. Okay. I don't know why it decided it didn't want to build the road, but I'm okay with that. Good. So there's people. There's 150 of them anyway. So now, having fit that in, I think what we would do, we don't need to be like, well, do we want to make a little, I mean, we have, well, one of those houses over here. Yeah, do we want to make like a little farm of these? Just, or do we want to go with something a little bit different? What do we have? See, these are like the same thing but shorter, so you just get less people in them. Yeah, there's nothing, they haven't really changed this that much. I mean, these are nice because they're just big old houses. One plop one down. I think that's what we built over here, right? Yeah, that's that. And then these are the highest quality ones right here. And they also hold like a good number of people, 162. You know, but they're a little bit fatter if you see. So they don't quite fit in the same space. But since these people are going to be living near the, you know what? Please don't attach to that road like that. I really don't want you to. There, what do you think? Yes, don't attach. So then, we got that stupid wires right there. See, and this is a case where we might want to knock the wires down. Let's spin this guy around and. So what's this? This is, we'll go a little further away, as close to that road as I can get this guy, and then let's do what I think is squaring them up. Yep, never fails. Wherever I put electrical wires, I eventually want to build something. Maybe we go on the other side of the road at this point, right? Yeah, so this road's done, so let's. See, and this is, in some ways, this is why I don't get into the auto building. Like, if I attach this road up like I want it to be, these guys may not go to the next section. But look, we're getting close here. Good, we're getting close to paving that. All right, so let me see what you guys are chatting about. Yeah, and Buddha, if you're, I don't know if you've watched the regular series, but if you watch today's episode and just a little bit of tomorrow's, but especially like the one from this morning, you'll see I kind of go around and I look at who's been dying. Like, so I did the same thing where I built things too close in the Revergrad city. So I went over and I hovered over a bunch of them and just sort of figured out who's dying and for what reasons. So, and it'll give you some idea of how far away you need to be. And fortunately, like I hadn't built, like I had built my industry around kind of in a C shape. So, like I was able to build some more houses over here in a sense where they weren't quite so close to these industries. And then I had to knock down some of the industries and, but I'll get into that. I don't want to give away tomorrow's episode too much, but we'll have to, I have to get in there and clean it up somehow, move houses around and whatnot. Yeah, there is quite a few ways to go down in this game. All right, I don't think they're going to prioritize this road job because they're already on one, right? So this does not need to be an asphalt road, but it needs to kind of come through here so both of these houses can attach. Really, that's the only way. Oh, no, yeah, I'd rather you do it like that way. There we go. That's kind of too tight. All right, I'm going to, well, who's getting power from here? I don't even know if the construction things need power. Let's just keep going without the power. I'm going to knock down those two power lines and this one. Let's build our I changed my mind that quick. I'd like to put in two more of these houses. Just thinking about how many would fit over here. They're getting kind of far away from stuff, aren't they? Well, we could build another road this way. All right, let's... we don't have to build these right away either, right? Just because you plop them down. What was it, this one? Yeah, before we spin around, let's do this one first. There we go. And then what I'll do is with this one, why don't we leave like a little space so we can make sure we get like a road or at least a footpath there. So yeah, like as long as I don't take out that tree, I think I'll... There we go. That's not ideal in some ways. Can I go a little closer? No? Okay. Oh, but then it didn't build my road. I thought it was going to build the road. Nope. All right, well, that's kind of goofy. Okay. You know what? We're auto-constructing. But it's still, I think, going to be more efficient to just have the road come through. Like, say that, right? And we'll just build the... There we go. Yeah, we'll build it just like that. Then we'll let them do that one project. Now, I don't necessarily want them prioritizing that, but let's commit to it. And are we done this section? Yes. No. We're rollering it, right? Yeah. Good. Okay. Now we need to get our power back, right? Can we cut our... I don't want to go that way. This is what? These poles, right? Can I go get around this building? Oh, can't change wire types, so it must be this kind. Building in the way. Too sharp. All right. How about like that? Building in the way. And can we turn? Yeah, I don't know. I don't think we're gonna. Yeah, I didn't think it was gonna like that. No, it's not. Oh, it did like that. Okay, a little goofy with the way the power poles ended up, but okay. So we'll auto purchase this with rubles just to get it hooked back up. Now, do we have enough power for all of these things down here? Probably not. Almost definitely not. All right, so let's. Yeah, I think we're gonna need two. Yeah, there's no way. Let's zoom out so we can see. No, we're not gonna need two, are we? Pretty sure. Yeah, let's spin this guy around. Now, I don't know if we're just gonna brown out. I have a feeling that we need a bigger power line. So why don't we just run a whole separate new power line with the bigger medium one? You know what we need to do before we get too carried away? Are we done that road? Yeah, let's. You guys get to work building this hospital. Speaking of the dead and dying, yeah, so now we need to come all the way from up here. Yeah, I definitely think we need to build a bigger power line. And since we're going further away, no, don't attach to that. I want to put you like right. No. Now we'll bring you back to here. Yeah, and then we'll. Yeah, that looks like it'll line right up with, say, here. And then this. All right, are you done this? Yes, you are. Or no, you're not. But you're, well, pretty close. All right, let's take this. Well, we need to build roads across here, don't we? Let's keep you on where the other side of where this road would probably be. Yeah, we'll come one out and cheat you this way a little bit. Too sharp. Yeah, I don't think you're going to interfere with the road. Where do we have to go to? Over here. Can we just go? Yeah, there's going to be a road right there, so I don't really want to interfere with that. So let's go to, say, here. Let's line up where I can see. What is that building? Do we need, does it need a road? No, out the other side. Good. Okay. I didn't want to plop this down and have to delete it in a minute. No, can't. Yeah, building in the way. Can I come out to like here? There we go. A little zigzag, but let's commit to building that. And then along with the hospital, why don't we give these guys that to do as well? Yes, after you like say we had it here, right? Like it's suspend the construction, so you could just click off this. Plus, again, and if you do that, that would be the way to do the auto thing and not build certain things. So like, yeah, if you didn't want to ever build this road, which we really don't want them to, but we don't necessarily want to delete it, we would come in here and say suspend the construction. And then even if it was assigned to somebody, they wouldn't build it, right? So that's the way you can control that. But I just sort of prefer telling them what to do. I don't know. I just sort of like it. It's some people have suggested I do it a different way, but I like laying things out like this and then coming back and building them later on. So there we go. So we got this going. We got power, and I think that one power thing should cover everybody. Now it's just a matter of getting this road prioritized, which we'll do right after that, right? And say this is where, I mean, I guess I could turn off, like we could suspend the construction to this road so that they don't pick this one next. They might pick this one next, but I'm okay with that if they just come here and do this little one. So you could go around, but like the thing I don't like about that is then, I don't know, to me it's just sort of as easy to pick them. But yeah, I could see where the auto search is easier in some ways. But yeah, we will leave that off and hopefully remember to turn it back on. Like, I guess I'm far more likely to, if I was counting on the auto search, I'm far more likely to forget what I turned off than I am to like just go around and check regularly and see. Now, you know what? We have, I should have probably checked, but we have a whole fleet of dump trucks, don't we? Matter of fact, how is if we are not doing 100%, I'd say we're building up. So it's just a matter of, you get rushes on these kind of things. And it's one of the reasons we have the large storage thing there so that we can get a good buffer of gravel. And chances are you won't go through it all. Good. So we're building our hospital. Yeah, that's it. It doesn't make too much difference. My way, yeah, I don't know. Just do it the way you enjoy it. It's your game. It's not going to change the overall outcome all that much. Same thing with whether you auto build things. Like again, and if we look at our economy there, like this drives me up a wall when we have you're spending a lot more money when you're doing it. And remember, my whole series started out as a bit of a challenge. It's turned into something else. It's still a challenge because of how much we're trying to build, but it's when you're hard scrabbling. Look, we're down to under 600,000 already, and I mean it is an hour into the live stream, but we're cutting through some dough. So good. Has he done this? No. He is not the fastest vehicle in the world, is he? But he's awful close, so I think we can get all geared up for what hopefully is our next road that we're going to work on. Now, the other thing I noticed that happens to me with the game is that I did things because that's the way you kind of did it in the beginning, and then they went and adjusted things. So like they might have made this easier or that harder, whatever the story was. Overlaps with existing construction. Okay, well, why don't we go the other way then? Yeah, sometimes the game is strange. There we go. So hopefully, yep, construction office 2 should get down here. Good, they've already got that worked on. Yeah, we're already doing this. Yeah, so we should have plenty of dump trucks. And as long as... How's our auto search doing? Why do we have so many unfinished... Is this... Yeah, I don't know what... Why do we have so many unfinished roads? Yeah, see, this one's suspended. Yeah, where are all these unfinished roads that you guys want to build? Oh, okay, you want to connect up our houses. Well, I'm okay with that. Okay. Now, is this guy... Yeah, you know what, can I just tell him to do footpaths too? Roads and footpaths. I'm okay with you doing footpaths. I just sort of want to get you to prioritize unfinished road 21 here if I could. Well, those are just two little roads anyway, so we'll do 21 kind of next, I think. Good, then we'll get into building that. So the next question is, we don't have to get too far ahead of our own construction, but I think we could probably fast forward things a little bit, right? Now that I'm ready to pay attention. And is there anything else you guys can think of that our agribusiness needs? You know, we've got bakery, distillery, silo. You know, we'll need another, you know, what we can need is, oh no, this road. Yeah, they could start building that road too. Good. You know, let me know what you think. We've got, you know, I think enough fields to get us started with some food coming in. Whether we build, you know, I don't know how well it would work to build fields over here. And this isn't really flat. I was looking at it at some point. You know, it's not at all really flat over here. You know, like, it's not like it's, oh, the perfect place to build it. Now, if you meant, I think you would ask Steve about the other side of the river. We could possibly talk about down here, but I'd like to get the oil going first, right? But again, I want to wait to see, before we start building the oil, I want to make sure that we feel like our railroad idea is going to get us out and about. So, you know, I guess we should start designing that, right? There's no reason we can't. Let's give it a little fast forward action. Gas station by the farm. Yes. Just in general, having one up here would be a great idea. Thank you, off the rails. Let's just see if we can't. Yeah, nobody's going to be coming around from this side anytime soon, so why don't we really, one day they're going to give us the option to turn that off. Yeah, we'll just keep it tucked in here. Pretty darn tight, right? Auto purchase is on. Can I? Yeah, I should have turned that down. That's all right. I'm okay with auto purchase. Because if we buy 14 gallons of fuel or tons of fuel, we'll use them up, right? It's not like the end of the world there. Good. We're getting gravel laid out there. We're getting hospital laid out here. We all miss things. Yeah, but well, sometimes if you notice, like as soon as I put down a construction site, boom, I plop down the gas station second, like just so I don't forget that. All right, so let's talk about a railroad setup here, right? At least, you know, to get it planned. Try to keep an eye to make sure we're not having any catastrophes behind me. But so what are we going to need? We're really probably going to need two things. One thing in the short run will be, you know, I think the first thing we should have is a rail cargo station, right? And I'm hoping this doesn't interfere with our town too much, but we have a nice kind of little flat spot. Now, do we think, you know what, are we better off like coming over to here and doing a little bit of leveling? Now, can we level this far over, right? If I just, no, we need a bulldozer. So I really think we should try to stay on level ground. And what I'm thinking of is, I guess we could do two different ones, one over here and just get one started. But I think I don't know how many trains we're going to be able to afford to buy. They're not cheap, right? So what I'm thinking of is that we just get like a warehouse where we could put the food and alcohol, and well, we would need a meat storage too, right? But that's okay because we could attach like 4 things to this guy, right? So I think we're better off like keeping this as close as we can to like where like the truck route should be as short as possible. And the meat storage is kind of small. So if we put this guy, like say here, right? And then, yeah, we don't have the storages here. We have to go back over here. So if we had a warehouse, we would turn it this way, right? That makes sense. And then we would need another meat storage. We could do the meat storage just like this. All right, what else does one of these things take? Just so I can think in the back of my head what else we might put on the other side, right? Well, chemicals. Yeah, see, most of that other stuff we're not going to get into anytime immediately, right? Clothes and all that stuff. We could get into clothes, but then all that stuff can go into the regular warehouse. So, yeah, I mean, I guess we could do an open storage if we ever started making bricks and wanted to export them, or prefab panels. But if you look, we could do an open storage one way or the other. Like there's a regular open storage, a big one, you know, something like this. All right, so there we go. And then what I'm thinking of is one way or the other, and maybe we just plop it down for like a space saver. You know, this train would have to get into the rail. I don't know where we'll cross, but we should probably decide that. But the other thing we're going to want if we get into our oil industry is this guy. Yeah, and you know what? Those pipes could go like right across the road. I mean, we could even have the pipes go across the other maybe and just like stick it over here. And then have like one of those tank, built the tank, I guess we have to go to the oil thing. Like the loading and unloading could actually, well, that's, now that is the unloading and loading. What I'm just wondering is, well, you know what, right here is not a bad place either, is it? But I think I'd want to unload into like a storage tank kind of system. Does that make sense? So we might actually end up with two of these. One, well, I don't know. Or do we feed it in and out? I've never really set it up that sophisticated before. But I honestly think if we keep this railroad to this side, we probably would put that over here, right? Or anywhere else. So it could go on either side. I'm just trying to get an idea of where we would not want to build these tracks. And I'm thinking we kind of just keep these tracks close to, you know, like close to the road as we go around this hill. Bring that back a little bit. Hopefully this guy won't be too tight. Yeah, then the question is that, yep, nope, good to go. Oh, why are you stopping there? Okay, let's stop you right there then. And really, what is going on here? Too close to the road to, okay, well that's a different issue than we just had. Why can't we get, okay, we just got the one right across, but we can't get the second one across. Let's cut it a little bit sharper this way, right? No, too close, that's fine. Too close to the end. Stop that. Okay, I'm not 100% sure. But it doesn't really matter, does it? If I am 100% sure, that is. Yeah, let's swing it around. Look, I don't think these trains really care about going around turns or not, but there, I think that looks nicer. Okay, let's go check on things. So what do you guys think of that? Are we going to need power over here as well, aren't we? Probably. Which means we can get the big... I think these go across the river. Nope. I mean, does it go across? Is there a narrower piece of river? that looks a little narrower. Oh, look at that. Yeah, because I think that'll save us quite a bit of money. But that, yeah, that'll save us quite a bit of money. So let's see, how far away from, let's make sure, yeah, let's make sure they all get powered up. Is there anything else we need to build over there? Let's just go a little closer. We don't need to be that cheap about it, right? Or I don't need to be that cheap about it. Will you just attach? Okay. Yeah, I think that's the narrowest point of the river, because this sort of takes, I mean, we might be able to, yeah, see now, look, we just barely made that across, I think. Okay, I'll take it, even though it's a little bit longer this way, right? So how do we want to, too sharp an angle. I don't want to get too close to that town. Yeah, let's get on this side of that road. I can't really see what I'm doing. All right, let's bring it down from this side. So we got to come. Yeah, we only have one more connection. Yeah, I guess we should kind of turn it here and cut across our oil field. Just trying to get those. Yep, 30,000 rubles worth of power lines there, right? If we had them built. So that's another thing this guy could probably get working on. Yeah, good. Look, we're 84% done our hospital. We need to get a university. Where is that power line? Right there. Yeah, we definitely need to get a university going too, don't we? How's our people doing? How are our people doing? They're not terribly happy. Why are you not so happy? Unable to visit a hospital. Well, we got that going as best we can. Look, this month we did. We had 7 escapes. Why are we getting escapes? Let's slow down. Slow down. Slow down. Yeah, where are we getting escapes from? These people. Oh, there we go. Sorry about that. I shut it up. But I will go look at the radar just to see. Not even so much because I'm not afraid. Just I don't want to lose the darn power. Yeah, we got a big line of storms coming. Probably in about another hour, I would say. Maybe a little different. And it's mean red looking on the radar. So anyway, sorry about that. So let's see. Why are we? Wait a minute. I thought you guys are these people aren't very happy. No. Why are so many people not happy? Are we losing people from here? No one lives here. Did we take people out of here? I forget. I don't know. Let's take everybody out of here though, right? So let's just. No one lives here. I'm wondering if building these roads, if I was wrong. Like, do we need to take everybody out? It could be. Either that or are we just losing them from the map? I don't really know. Oh, let me get my chat thing back up. Oop, that's not the chat thing. There we go. Do we have room? Yeah. So let's. What is this? Yeah, let's just take all these people out of here. We might as well rescue them from the other towns, right? Make them happy in our own little town. About a pain in the behind. There we go. That wasn't the most. Let's just see. Is there anybody else? Yeah, everybody out. We can't move your church. Yeah, see, I don't really think these people are being affected. I'm not sure that that's who's escaping, to be quite honest. But that's okay. We could use the people in our own town. We don't need them over here anyway. So, yeah, I think we got everybody else. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I got that whole other side of the street. No, we didn't get everybody else. But I got the whole other side of the street. So, there we go. So let's move these people in where they're doing a little more good. Unemployed people. I will deal with that comment in just 1 second while I do this fun and exciting relocate people thing. All right, I think this is one more. There we go. All right, good. So we got a few more people in our town anyway. And let's see. Let's go back to the statistics. So somebody's not real happy. Yeah, we got a lot of unemployed people. Well, we got work planned for them, right? You know, we got the hospital going here. Now, that's another thing is how is our school doing? One teacher. Yeah, you know what? We're in trouble. We got some educated. You know what? Oh, you know what? There's another. Yeah, they're going to the thing. Let's tend. Yeah, we kind of need a little house just for teachers. As long as we're not having an education problem, I guess we don't really need to worry, right? Let's. Yeah, I mean, we're not getting, oh, there is an adult in here, so because they're going to hurt you too. But yeah, that is, we need to get them more work, there's no doubt. Fortunately, we'll be able to spread them out a little bit into these houses, right? And get them working, because we said we needed about 1,000 people to get this fired up. All right, so are you done this road? Yeah, I'd rather you build the roads into here when you get, let's get the farm thing going so we don't have to buy food, right? And then we can get like these roads attached and start getting these things built. We got our power going. Yeah, we need to get the power thingy attached here. This can just be like a little dirt road. Why don't we, can we get a little, yeah. There we go. Not overly pretty, but they'll be able to get to it eventually. By the time we need power, they'll be able to get the power built. We read a couple chats again. Well, when it comes to activating the town, here's what I question. Like if we look, and I don't really understand, so this is not from a place of expertise. I've never played on a populated map. Like if you look, these people are at like this level of contentment, which is not necessarily enough to make them escape, right? Or are they escaping until you know, see, like these people are all, once you build a building like a facility where they could buy clothing or something, then all of a sudden they want a pub and the sports and all that stuff. But like, if you notice, they're not complaining over here about that. And then just, you know, before this map started, I had like paved these roads and they really weren't upset with me at all. Like they just went on with life. So, by the way, this is probably one of the arguments for building the town hall, right? Accounting office, so that we could actually monitor the people that are close and don't have to look at this global Because like, how many people around here are unemployed versus is this all the people on the map, 90% of which don't live in our town kind of thing, you know? Because there's no way we have 1,200 people living here or 2,000. Like that's the map's population. So maybe you guys want to vote. Do we put in the money towards this? I mean, we're we're cutting through our dough pretty good. So how are we doing? Okay, this road's done. Very good. So I definitely want to get these roads built. Yeah, I think these should be asphalt. Though they really, no, I think they're not even going to get up to speed on these roads. And we're going to be cheap about it. So this one, yeah, this one's, see, I don't really picture trucks coming in and out of here too much. Yes, but this one needs a construction entrance if nothing else. So we're gonna do that, right? I'm not gonna get rid of the road for fire protection reasons, but yeah, we'll do a gravel road. Yeah, that's fine. It'll save us some bucks. We don't really need a. This is the distillery. This is the corn. This one, again, it's so short. I don't think there's any benefit. Now, this is a road, but yeah, we could probably just do that and then get rid of this little bit on the end for now. All right, so that attaches all those up without messing up too many of their construction projects. And yeah, so everything's attached. So once we get these roads built, we can start doing it. We got our hospital going with 4 doctors and no patients. So anyway, they can't complain about not being able to go to the hospital, right? So what are you working on? Well, now you're going to have, you don't have too many dump trucks, but I'm going to get you working on a few of those gravel roads alongside your other construction buddy. Hey, Simon. Yeah, the KGB could keep them from escaping, huh? They were... Let me read up on some chats here. Yeah, so I don't know. We need to start pulling people over, don't we? But we need to get them working on everything. Like that's one of the problems when yeah, obviously if you've watched the regulars here, let's turn off the wireframe. We don't need that. In here, I think we could, well, I don't want to fast forward too much until yeah, I think it's people escaping from other areas, but did you guys have an opinion about building the city hall? Do we waste the money on it? Yeah, well, Buddha speaks, some of this is just about learning. Like, I have no problems with doing things, even if we know it will cause us to fail if we all learn, right? Like, this is not your map, and if you learn from the mistakes that we make as a group, then you can do your map even better, and you say, well, no, I'm in a tight spot. I'm not going to build that. Let's at least get them building the road there, right? And then once that road's built, we can decide to do that. Do we need an ambulance? Yeah, you know what? I guess we should get an ambulance. I don't think I ever bought an ambulance before. There we go. We got an ambulance. I don't know if we need more than one. Oh, we don't have power. What? And we're out of room in our... Why doesn't that guy... Yeah, we're just always out of power, aren't we? Yeah, I guess I'll cut into this line here. Yeah, where's our nearest... Oh, yeah, look over here. So where's this? Oh, this guy's getting power from over here. And that guy just doesn't... Look at that. You booger. Well, you know what? If we're going to build anything else over this way, I guess we're going to need another thing. So why don't I just, like right here, we'll put in another substation, and that should cover the whole backside. Like, yeah, because we have one right here. It's just we have this like dead spot right close to our thing, you know? All right, so let's, we got to take care of this one way or the other. You know, yeah, see, that'll cover everything and then some. And we can just take advantage of that little dirt road there. And let's get rid of that maybe. And put a switch in. And I think that's just one of these little wires. And, oh, is that too close? Yes. Oh, come on. There we go. And yeah, we're just going to auto purchase that. Oh, this never did attach, did it? Can't connect two different wire types. Oh, was it this kind of wire? Let's see, can I get rid of that? Yeah, I guess we are better off with a little bit bigger wires, right? And yeah, purchase those. Oh, we don't have dollars. Cancel rubles. Cancel rubles. We're going to build the switch to rubles. Now let's see how much extra that actually cost us, right? Just kind of curious. $850. But I don't know who that's giving power to, and I didn't want... Yeah, see, I don't want all this shutting down, right? So, yeah, I think it's worth it at that point. Now this we can build... Well... All right, close your eyes. Not supposed to auto purchase, but... There we go. I want the power on to our... There we go. We're treating patients. Very good. And we have an ambulance. So hopefully... Can the ambulance get out from back there? Oh yeah, he goes through the little thing, doesn't he? Well, that's kind of cool. A little bit like why even build that, but is that a helicopter landing pad here maybe? Yeah, we'll get the city hall going. I just saw your comment off the rails. All right, so can we do fast forward again? Yeah, let's do fast forward again. And hopefully we'll get... Yeah, do we have any... Well, yeah, I guess the priority would be to get this done, but I'm okay with it all coming together at once too, right? We need to get roads over here though, don't we? Yeah, we got this little gravel road, but we are going to need... We are going to need more roads attached to this. And this. And this road is just a marker. So let's get rid of at least some of our... Don't build here because we're getting into the oil zone. And then... Can we come off of here so we don't create another road node? Yes. Let's come from this direction a bit. I find if you come from two different directions with the roads and the... There we go. So that'll be our meat facility. Now I'm going to do this, but I don't want them... building this right away. I'd rather get the other, like the other roads worked on first, right? And eventually, once they get into here and we get this going, we can get them freed up here. And are they building our other? Yes, he's building our other power lines. How is he doing? Yeah, he doesn't have any warning messages. Yeah, he's working on the medium voltage lines. There he goes. Now he's working on one of the roads. Getting source of workers is empty. Yeah, see, I don't think we have that many unemployed people over in our town. Yeah, helicopters. Yeah, they could. There's a lot of potential for this game. There's no doubt. Like they've really done a. I'll tell you what. Like sometimes you get your first impression of an early access game, and you got to put up with the bugs. I mean, when we were first, one of the things I only built auto build before was like, little roads like this because like game would crash like every other time you went to build a road. So they worked on a lot of bugs over the first couple months, and then but then they did like some, and I don't disagree with them. They did some like quality life improvements. The only thing I personally disagree with is like the changing of the leveling system. But again, it's personal taste. It's not, it's flip a coin, which way do you go kind of thing. No matter who, somebody's going to be unhappy no matter which way you went with that, right? So, like I can't blame them on that one. But overall, they've done a great job, And they're making improvements. We're seeing the pollution. They're definitely steady working on it. It's nothing like you buy a game and you expect them to improve it, and then they just, disappoint you. And these guys haven't done that, so I definitely give them kudos where it's deserved. Yes, train. No, we are doing a train. So yeah, we probably. Well, you know what? We don't need a train fuel station, and I think what we're actually, well, yeah, we should probably put one down both ends, huh? I'm just trying to think, like, how far will the trains go this whole way without fuel? Because if they will, I think we're better off building the train fuel station, like right up here, right? So what we do need to do is, yeah, why don't we do that now? I mean, we keep working on the trains. No reason we can't. I just had a little scare with what looked like losing people. And we can't really level too much, so we need to get this. Yeah, we need to get this. Let's see, which way are we going to come across here? Can we get like straight from over there? Yeah, I don't know. Should we? Just because it turns green, I'm not sure that we should build that, but I guess the trains will make it up over that hill, huh? I'm not quite sure why that's green. And I'm not sure that was even the right exact way to go with that, but I can't. I'm backed up against I would like to get a good straight line on what's the best way to go. Yeah, let's get rid of some of this. And hope we can go back down the hill. Yep. All right, so how do we get across this road? Can I just go straight? No, I got to be all the way over like that. So let's come out like here. Can I? Yeah, no, like it's too close to the edge. I don't really care that this is. All right, just to get across that road. Yeah, but it's either that or they go all the way around it, right? And that's going to cost us a lot more money. And I don't think, I mean, it's, yeah, I mean, it is what it is, as they say. And then the other thing I think we should do is leave enough room maybe for a signal, even though we don't need one there. Why can't we do that? Angle is too sharp, huh? Okay. Let's demolish some of that. Yeah, that's the other hope, is that we can get the parallel track the whole way. Now, we don't have to build the whole parallel track, right? If we just build one side of this, we might as well design it. Oops, look, we almost missed. We just have to design it for the two, right? Like, so I think my vote is that we just plan on one train to get started, and it'll cost us half as much, but it might as well, like I said, put it where we can. Too sharp. Come on, don't be too sharp. Really? Okay, let's turn it this way a little bit then. Too sharp. Go a little further. Will you parallel your buddy there? Yep. Now let's turn you past the river. There we go. Yeah, see, this will be one of the tougher places to get past right here. Yeah, that's all right. We've got the rail going. Let's just make sure we're doing okay here for a second. Source of workers, yeah. Yep. There goes my warning system. That's on my phone. Yeah, there must be something coming. Like I said, there's a pretty mean line of storms coming this way if you look at the eastern United States. All right, so anyway, missing a bus. Oh, because you're doing a little road. Okay, well, do you have room for a bus? Yeah, I didn't really want to get into busing with you, though. Let's cancel these two. And then let's put you guys, I think that's, yeah, see, this is another, see, if we put buses on them, then they're always going to demand people, right? And that was because, where was it? That's this road and this road, right? So we'll put them to the end of the list, and hopefully these guys will get done it. So those guys are still working on medium voltage. And sorry, I forgot to put my chat back up. Yeah, we have some thunderstorms coming. So hopefully, I'm not too worried, but it's actually midday here, and it's getting pretty dark already, and it looks like the storms are still a couple counties over, kind of thing. So we'll see. If it is what it is, if I have to take a little break, I will. Right. The other thing is, I normally, if we get storms like this, I turn off the computers, and just that way, one of them doesn't get zapped by the power. Okay, so now, what are you guys doing? You're working on those roads. Wonderful. Yeah, so we should get these guys doing as many of the little road chunks as they will, so that it doesn't, because if you don't need a mechanism, then that other crew can't really do them, right? They're only good for roads that are going to need a whole mechanism. Now, with all the stuff they have, why don't we, just for the sake of keeping it going, I'm going to turn this guy back on, right? So he should auto go to that other construction, so they can start paving this rather than doing nothing. Now, will they look for... Yeah, see, like, when there's no mechanism, they're not going to really be able to work on it. But that's fine. They can work on plenty of other bigger road projects. Yeah, well, that's one of the reasons I like to assign them. I mean, there's many little reasons that I don't mind assigning them. Like I said, preference, but, I don't want to put a bus in here because... Like, I just want them paving roads. Unfortunately, they're auto searching out little tiny roads that they're not capable of working on, which is fine. All right, let's keep continuing with our railroad tracks, and hopefully this... Oh, you know what we could do? Sorry, let's build our little get those roads paved, but also let's get them working on our town hall. Because I would definitely like to see what's going on with our localized area a little bit better. Off the rails, I really don't think there is a best combination of vehicles because, I mean, there's what I like to think of as the standard can do everything, and then you sort of can throw a little weight one way or the other towards, what you think is best. As far as, like, say, do you need more people in the jobs you're doing? But as soon as you put, like the construction jobs are just so different that, like one construction job needs a bunch of mixers would be better. And even different phases of the job needs different things. And, so I think like two of each kind of vehicle, like I don't like to put a bulldozer in every single one, because you don't always need a bulldozer, but you can always use the excavator, and then you definitely want to have a crane, and you want to have at least one or two buses, right? Oh, there we go again. Sorry about that. Yeah, so that's the severe thunderstorm warning. So in America, what we have is we have watches and then we have warnings. So the first time it went off was saying there's a watch for our area, and that means like you should watch out. Like there's not necessarily anything coming, but you just need to keep your eyes open, kind of thing. There's a problem that might be happening, whether it's a thunderstorm or a tornado or whatever it is. Yeah, I'm trying to squeeze around this hill without fighting it too much, right? And so this was the warning. When you get a warning, it means there is a thunderstorm coming or whatever they're warning you about. Like, again, it could be a blizzard or a tornado or whatever, but it means there's one on the ground, so to speak, heading your way, most likely. Now, I think we can... Oops. I was hoping we could just scoot right across there. Look, we go over mountains, and now you're not letting me go across there? Really? No, that is kind of a bit of a steep dip, isn't it? Okay, can we come like right here? Can I get another parallel one there, right? Okay, good. All right, so let's take some of this back. Like I said, we won't actually build both sides of this, but at least we know when we do want to ramp it up, we'd be able to. Yeah, the other thing that I tried, I don't know if you guys are watching it, is what I would like to call a supply office. So in other words, instead of having, like, just put whatever mixture of dumpers, open halls, and covered halls, and they, like, in other words, if we just converted one of these, here, let me get over here. If we just converted one of these, instead of having it do roads, where we have the dumpers and open halls, and maybe we put the concrete mixers in here, and then we have it auto search this whole area, what it will do is support these guys in everything they're doing. Here, why don't we do that? As a matter of fact, well, we don't do that because I want these guys paved, in particular this. But what we would do is have this just be a generic construction like it is, right? And we would move the paver and whatnot over here. And this guy, like this yard, would just send these dumpers out to all of these projects immediately. Like it's like we could get in here, right? It would pick this project and start dumping off the gravel and the concrete. I think I'm going to do that as soon as this road is paved over across the hill there, you know, which is not going to take it that long. Does that make sense? So to me, that I'm sorry at this moment I'm forgetting who made that suggestion, but I think it's a really good one. So it's, you know, like getting this idea of a supply office where they just, you don't assign them anything for the most part. They just go out there and deliver whatever they can. And that keeps you from, then you can like put more of the regular construction vehicles in here. Like you wouldn't necessarily have, I mean, you might have like a covered haul, but you wouldn't have like, you know, two dumpers here. You might just have one dumper. You know, the open hauls you probably want to keep because you're delivering these other vehicles. Does that make sense? But, you know, like we only have one mixer. Well, if you had three mixers in here, who cares? You might not even really need a mixer in this one at all at that point. And plus, you can always switch things, you know, in and out as you go. So I really like that idea as far as speeding things up goes. Now, the problem is, I don't know if we'll speed them up so much we'll run out. Oh, look, good. We're full of gravel. Too bad it's not something we can export. Yeah, cranes are tough. Yeah, we may, once we get this, in order to build all this stuff, I think I am going to switch that over to the, like the supply yard idea, right? And then you just don't put any buses or any of the regular construction stuff in here. And actually that might work right now, right? Because the only construction stuff they have in here is, like, they don't have any buses, so they're not going to be able to send that. They're not going to be able to send cranes or people, so they're really not going to be able to work on anything but the paving, right? Yeah, we could leave them with this one dump truck so that, or this one thing. You know what? Let's do that. I think the only thing we have to do is, yeah, if nothing else, let's just have them, let's see what happens. And we'll increase this to the max. Right? And then they should, you would see, they should just start sending out trucks, especially because we now know that we got our gravel full. We might as well keep that running. But look, yeah, see, look, they're just going to start sending out trucks to like every construction site we have, which is good and bad because we don't really want them working on this, right? So we should probably, yep, that's stopped. Let's, yeah, that's stopped. I think that's right. I stopped some of those roads. Yeah, this we can have them deliver stuff to. Yeah, I think I'm okay with them delivering to almost anything else that's not stopped at this point. Oh, jeez. Yeah, this is definitely coming. Hold on a second. Yeah, like put it this way, like right now, like earlier when I started the stream, it was a bright, sunny, beautiful day, and now it's like evening, you know, like it's not dark, but it's getting darker. Like I'm almost tempted to turn on the light. Like let's put it that way. It's getting so dark. But yeah, off the rails. What I was talking about a little bit earlier was like you can, like these guys are pretty generic, you know, but if you put two cranes on here, like you can get specific ones that are better for doing certain jobs. But yeah, look at that. Look how much, like now that they have all these different jobs, you know, how much more they're able to do. You know, they're just sending trucks out to go to all the different things, filling up all these different job sites. So I think that's, yeah, I'm glad we were talking about that. That'll speed us up quite a bit. Speaking of speeding us up quite a bit, now the problem is, will they get stuck? Well, I don't know. We'll just say we'll have to straighten out whatever issues that causes as it comes up. But there you go, guys. So there's our rail thing. I guess we should put in the oil, even though somebody said put in the oil, and that's the whole reason. Why don't we put the oil thing here, and then we'll just see how it goes, right? Like rather than building. Nah, you know what though? we're not going to be able to build this unless we purchase it. We're going to have to purchase this probably with rubles, because we're not going to have a construction site that's close enough. That's all right. We'll do that, because I think it's kind of worth it, right? We got to build it someplace that's flat. Yeah, that's not flat. Let's go down here. It might be a little goofy and awkward. Well, let's turn on our wireframe tools thing too. Yeah, see, I guess we could flatten it with, this is pretty flat right here, kind of. And let's just see if it'll go in. We can purchase. Oh, good, it's green. Well, they are definitely wanting to warn me, aren't they? I want to make sure there's not a tornado coming at that point. Because when they start flashing this much, you know you're in for something. Like, they don't set that thing off for no reason all the time, So now what's going to happen is I'm not going to be able to connect these. Yeah, see? Guaranteed something like that was going to happen. So let's see. Can we go back a little bit? I kind of see where... Oh. Let's see. Will you turn green if you... No, yellow. I'm going to auto... Oh, wait. Watch out for this. All these roads would get auto built. Like, so don't flip that over. Like, click this first, and then you could click the auto build, right? But if I hadn't done that, it would like want to auto purchase all of those rails. So what I want to do is just real small. Yeah. There we go. There we go. There we go. All right. Yeah, I apologize. But like I said, I don't want to turn it off because it is a bit of a safety issue, and I didn't expect it to go off 27 times on you guys. But I don't also want to have a tree come flying through the window because we have some kind of tornado or some goofiness. And if it gets so bad, trust me, like I lose my power and things go wrong, and I didn't want to sit here blissfully not aware. The funny thing is, for all their alarming, like when I look at the radar, it's not like it's on top of me. I mean, it's definitely coming, but it's coming pretty soon, within a half hour, I think. I don't know. We'll see what happens. I might take a little 10-minute break at the peak of it, and we'll see and hope for the best. But it is literally dark to where I would have to put on. If I really wanted to read a book, I'd have to turn on a light now. And, it's 4 o'clock in the afternoon here. Okay, so there we go. So I think we've got that. We'll have to auto purchase fuel. But at least if it does work, we're like real close. We'll be paying the least amount for the fuel up here. And then if it doesn't work, we'll just have to cut in, and build one all the way down here. But at least we got the rail system planned out, right? And we got roads over here. So hopefully we'll be able to build all of this. I think it's a little far for construction office, but it's not going to be a problem. I think the buses will be close enough. Now, I didn't put a road attaching this one, did I? You know what we could probably use? I'm not worried about the meat thing. We could definitely use these. Those would be nice. And then I don't plan on a rail coming out the back. So again, more of a space holder at this moment, because I know we can drive trucks in there, but why don't we put this guy in here so that, again, much as space holder as anything else, like if we do get a bunch of trucks coming over, there's only one parking spot in that warehouse. Like I said, with the meat, I'm not too worried about it though. And I don't really have many. Well, I guess we could have. Yeah, there's no way we're getting one of these in here. So before we build that, do we want to? Nah, you know what? I'm just not going to wear. We're not going to be making that much meat. It's going to be 12 trucks. But this thing, this regular warehouse holds so much stuff. Yeah, guys, it's really getting like creepily dark here now. All right, so let's turn off the wireframe. Oops, hit the wrong button. Yeah, well, I don't. I mean, I think they're a little quick to put out the alarm sometimes, but I guess I guess they have to balance out being like, I don't know if you guys know the story, the boy who cried wolf. Where you put out too many alarms and then people stop listening to you. But I imagine they have to like balance that out somehow. Yep, it's getting windy. So if you lose me all of a sudden, it's probably because my power went out. I don't know what will happen to the stream if it just cuts off. Obviously, I would try to come back. And sometimes it's not a matter of the power going out, but if it starts flickering, that's enough to turn my computer off. I have a little backup power supply, but the battery's dead in it, so it doesn't really work that well. All right, so how we doing? Look, yeah, see, these guys are just steady. Missing bus. Concrete plant can't produce concrete. Why are you... Yeah, let me check something else here about my weather. Yeah, no, it's still just severe thunderstorm warnings, so it's not a tornado warning, which is good. Nothing like a tornado in life. It's definitely not something you want to deal with. But I also have like trees. I kind of live in a area with a lot of trees where they tend to fall on our, and we have like above ground power. So, but anyway, all right. So what are you guys doing? You were doing absolutely nothing. That's not good. We can't build. Yeah, see, we're not really prioritizing what I want to prioritize here. So, what can you guys? Yeah, you can do this, and you can do. Yeah, we'll get them. Keep marching on these little roads. Yeah, so I guess since we can build it, let's do a corn silo and these two houses, right? No staff. Why would we have... Yeah, we got one staff. Are we getting... Yeah, how's our... Oh, look, look, look. We got our accounting hall. No data. Not enough accountants and officers to show the stats. Okay. Yeah, so I think between starting the hospital and everything else, we probably need to go grab some more people, huh? Well, good. Well, we're building the two more houses. Yeah, people are completely happy, so they shouldn't be escaping. Where doctors are treating people, we definitely need more educated people. So I think we're going to have to build a university, probably rather sooner than later kind of thing. And I'm thinking this is sort of a good spot for it, even if we build more industry over here, right? Yes, yeah, we can get those built too. So we'll see. I'm wondering, is this guy getting... Well, no, he's just going. So, yeah, our concrete... I think we're just using too many people. So let's just go grab more people out of this town. I guess we can always move them back in the future, right? Grab a bunch of these little houses because they're just annoying anyway. You don't have any people in there. Yeah, there's our little auto symbol. I don't think I ever really paid that much attention to that auto symbol. Nope, you didn't have anybody in there. Yeah, these... We're going to crash the game just for the sake of... go. And you would sort of start working our way from the river. So at least, there we go. So there's a bunch more workers. That's not going to hurt us. I think I'd rather put you, yeah, look, we got less people. I don't know if that's because are they spreading out? You know what I mean? Like, are they going to live in other houses that are less congested, or are they escaping on us? So hopefully we can get a few more educated over here, but I definitely think we need to start getting the college thing going. Before we run out of educated people. How many educated people do we have on the map? Oh, now building is on fire. Oh, it's our it's our accounting office. Okay. Well, good job, fireman. I can see you're already on the job. It's the second time in a couple weeks that a building caught fire right underneath of me. There we go. So now we got 133, 11 educated. So let's plan out our university, and you know, it's just something we're going to have on this map. If we don't build it right away, that's okay. Yeah, can we get you attached? Yeah, so we can still get that attached down the road. And I'm thinking we just sort of do, you know, that's sort of a hill right there anyhow. Like, there's actually kind of a big hill right there. So let's come over to here. Not medical university. Yeah, I think we just want a technical university, because we're gonna you need it anyway just to investigate things. Now we don't. That thing is bigger than I was picturing, isn't it? I really don't want to move all those. I really don't want to move all those. Can I turn it? Yeah, let's get rid of this road for a second. Maybe I need to turn it some. Just because those power lines are in the way. Yeah, technically. You know what? The other one. We really were. Okay, there we go. You know what? Maybe we put it like up against the power line. Well, I don't want to get too far away from the people. Yeah, I mean, I know that's like kind of horseshoed in, but what do you guys think? I don't think I like it, but yep, that's you didn't like that, but will you like this? Yes. All right, so let's give them some footpaths, right? We'll definitely want them. There you go. Yeah, why don't we do a footpath past there and there, so if we start getting people on the other side of town, and then you guys can come to work here. And yeah, I guess you could, well, that's just the hospital, but we know what, we could probably, yeah, you know what, can we come a little bit further? Oh, the other computer just shut off for a power thing, so just to give you guys an idea what's going on here. So it also means I lost my chat, so we still seem to be live streaming, so I'm going to go on talking, and it's starting to restart. But when this starts happening, like I said, I have like a little power supply on this computer, but the battery won't last. Like, it's not one of those run it for an hour kind of things. It's just enough to stop it from shutting off like that one just did. Hey, you know what? I don't have the light on, so I should probably turn that on just so I can see if the power flickers. Hold on one second. Sorry about that. Can't help Mother Nature, can you? All right, so now let's commit to those things. And the footpath. Let me try to get logged back in so I can see your chats again. Nope, it's not ready. There we go. Good. So we're getting logged back in. 1 second. Probably take a minute for the Opera browser to open up. Good. These guys have calmed down in what they're doing. And let's take a look at... Yeah, throughout the map we have 130 university educated. Now, did we get enough people over here to... No data available. Okay. Well, there we go. So let's open this up. So I want to get back to your chats. All right, so we're building that. What are these guys? Well, they're just working on whatever. Are you, like, where is your roller? Okay, yeah, he's building this. It's a little premature to build that road, but I definitely don't mind that he gets it done, right? And our rule is if we wanted to build power, we had to build an asphalt road. So we've already built the power, knowing that we would build the asphalt road up to there. So I'm not going to be too... There we go. So let's see. No, I don't want you to... Now I got all the memos, you know, like the different things that pop up. Does my ambulance look busy? 13 educated. Yeah, we need to get more educated over here. Let's get this thing built so that education... Yeah, see, this is going to be pretty expensive, but if we don't do it... Yeah, I don't know how long we're going to last with not being allowed to buy people in, right? I guess we can go around looking for educated people, but there we go. See, now we have more houses for them to flow into. And... Oh, you know what, did we have checked bring people from across the map? That's good if we did, right? Because maybe that'll get us... There we go, we got stats. Woohoo! So our population is 6... we need 15 people, I think. Yeah, see, once we get down below 15, we lose our stats. Yeah, so let's... well, once we see the gravels in place here, we'll do that. Yeah, there we go. 14. All right, look real quick. So, yeah, that's not going to work. Well, now we got 17. Okay, yeah, 612. Yeah, they're reasonably happy. We got 28 educated. Oh, we got a bunch uneducated. Well, they could be kids, right? So how is our... Yeah, look, we have 700 births here and only 116 deaths. But yeah, let's get... I don't know. I know what do you guys think about getting the university... I mean, it's awful expensive, but do we really, you know, I think we need it. I mean, but I don't, you know what I'm saying? We need to get that rail built too pretty badly. And we need to get all this built, which we haven't done yet either, right? Well, we don't need to get all of this built, remember. We don't, you know, really, I would say if we had to focus on something, it would be, let's just get this distillery built, you know? Oop, there goes the power flickering again. I would rather speed up the industry. Like the road building is going to stop when we get to right here, right? Like that's going to be... I mean, yeah, we have these couple little roads and whatnot, but like really I need to speed up the all these buildings in a sense. Like we need to get this farm built. Like that's one of the reasons I switched that guy over to hauling everything, you know. Now we could, yeah, like we could postpone this. Yeah, let's postpone this and we'll, even though they're not working on this yet, we'll postpone the livestock buildings so that they don't take, yeah, they can't get into any of these anyway because we got the roads canceled. So, but except for this one, and I just postponed it. So they won't build that. So they should only be building the stuff in here. And let's see, do we have enough? Yeah, how many? Look, we have 0 unemployed workers. So let's go ahead and, yeah, they're building these roads, but they're probably jammed up. So let's get this guy to build. Yeah, this guy's only working on the grain storage anyway. So you build this and this. No, don't build that. Build that. Yeah. And then, yeah, I definitely want him building the distillery. And he can also work on this and this and this. Yeah, so the road building is really, you know, because that's one of the benefits. It's going to cost us an awful lot to do our train tracks, right? Oh, you know what we didn't build? Yeah, we didn't build a rail construction office. It's going to be a little bit important. We could use another little dirt road. Will you just attach? Yeah, like there. And where do we want to build this rail construction office? I don't really want to block this. You know what? Let's build it on the other side of the street here. But you know what? We're going to have to supply this thing too, aren't we? Yes, we are. So I mean, we could probably just do it by trucks, but I'd still like to have a gravel thing. Yeah, can we get away with that? Like out towards the river as much as possible? Can we level by the river? Yes. Just to give us that extra little bit. I don't necessarily agree with building a bridge across the river, but that's not bad to give us a little extra room, you know? Yeah, so we're going to have a parking thing on the other side, which we can't get from here. Let's jam this like over here. And then rail construction, like, hopefully that'll attach. And then I'm picturing now if we put a small aggregate storage, yeah, I'd like to kind of get it to where we could put, can we get a, maybe not right now, but yeah, you're into the river there, aren't you? We need to level a little bit more. So let's see if we put an aggregate. What I'm trying to do is get it in there enough that I could maybe put one of those. Can we get one of these truck aggregate unloading? Why do I only have truck aggregate loading here? Well, let's go back over here. No. Yeah, here. Can we get this guy in? Yes. Now again, I don't know if we're going to build all this stuff. As a matter of fact, let's cancel this. Just, I don't know if he reaches this far, but here comes the thunder. Oop, there we go. So then Angle of connection too sharp. Let's delete this guy. And can I get that? Yeah, the only thing I'm worried about then is the road. Or the rail, the road, and the road. Yeah, the Fox, you missed a bit at that point. Oh, we can't connect the, oh, there we go. We can't connect one way, but you connect the other. Can we connect this? Building in the way. Really? I thought I could get away with it. All right, so now let's try one more time. I'm just worried about getting the railroad over that way. Let's make sure this connects before we... Right, so there we go. So we'd have trucks be able to come in here, and I need to be able to... Well, we might auto purchase a little bit right there, right? Like just enough rail. Like we might have to auto purchase just a little bit of that. And that's what we'll do, just to, for the sake of not having to do some craziness with the railroad tracks. So let's see. Now, I guess it doesn't really matter which one we build, does it? But yeah, good. We can get across here. Now, let me, I want to, if I can, yeah, go to this one, because then this way, right? So then, yeah, we could do a crisscross, whatever, down the road if we... Good. All right, so there's rail construction office. It should be close enough to our little power thing here. Let's commit to those other bits and pieces. Road. Let's build a road from here. And then, yeah, this should be like a regular road out here. Nope, you didn't like that? There we go. Is that guy connected? Yep. Yeah, and that one's canceled for now because, well, we're just getting low on money. And I'm getting a little nervous. Let me slow the speed down a tiny bit here. It seems like the worst of my storm is past. I don't know if that's true because, you know, sometimes they are bigger than you expect, but the wind has died down at least, and I don't know if it's the calm before the big storm or if that was it, but I survived so far. There you go, right? Sorry about that. So sometimes what happens is as it moves along, I'm going to, you know, let me commit to these and I want to read some of your chats for a second. All right, there we go. So I think that's what we needed to do our across the road thing. It's always amazing how you say, oh, I need a construction area, and then you end up with all this junk. Yeah, so what are we going to... Yeah, this guy doesn't have a road to him yet. And I think we could just sweep him nicely around. Can we come off of there? Yeah, we can come off this way, I think, and make that happen. Yeah. The game doesn't make the best choices as far as, oh, we need to get somebody into here. Can we come off of here just to avoid more road nodes? See what I mean? Like, it doesn't, like, you can make it look nice. You just kind of usually have to see. When it did it like janky. But then if you re-go from the other side, you get pretty good. So, all right, good. Like, everything over here is connected. That's excellent. I think for starters, we're going to cancel this so that, because we don't need to build this anytime right away, right? And we could probably, yeah, let's just not have them work on this. We definitely need this connected. We need this connected. We need, well, we're not going to worry about meat right away, right? So let's not build the meat locker to start. And then I'm going to, yeah, all of this. Well, we'd have this disconnected. You know what? Let's not build the gravel. Now, you know what? We need that gravel storage. Let's do that. All right, let's go see how we're making out over here and read some chats. Off the rails, I think you were the only chat I kind of missed, but there is the train station, if that's what you mean by the, or are you talking about like the depot, construction depot? Like this, like, is a rail station. I know what you mean by a depot, but I guess that's this. So then we have like a warehouse attached to it and a meat thing attached to it. And down the road, we could add, like, if we don't really have any reason to bring them over here, but we could put like an open storage yard on this side. And then the other thought would be over here, we could put like an oil thing somewhere. Like maybe we'd have to start going down this way a little further, you know, connect it. But we could bring an oil train in here eventually somewhere. And I'm thinking maybe on this side, we could do a little leveling. We might, the problem is I got lucky in leveling here, but I can't level like right here. Yeah, we really need to start selling stuff. Is absolutely right, Alan. No doubt about it. But what we're going to do is we're going to do it through the railroad track. So as soon as we sort of get our aggro warmed up a little bit, which we're building parts of it now. Now, why are we not building this road? Is what I wonder. Let's see, this is where even if it's because we're building, we're kind of hung up on this, aren't we? You know what? Cancel this. And let's just get, yeah, you know what? I'm going to take the auto search off for a minute. We can put it back on. Oh, look, I think they fixed where it was popping up all those windows. Either that or I did something different. There we go. Yeah, I want you to build that road. That road is your priority. Everything else for you can wait. And we'll go put them back on auto search in a little bit. But all right, let's get some more gravel roads for these houses. So we have stats. Unemployed, 0. Population dropped a bit because we were at like 612. So yeah, let's get this. Now, what are we doing here? Gravel laying, resources needed. We need a mechanism, so let's. It means it's a long enough road that these guys can work on it, no problem. So are we running out of people? No, not there. And we got plenty of gravel. Cannot store, well, yeah, that's normal if we're not actually using the asphalt. Yeah, so I'd feel more comfortable if we get the university going so we don't run out of educated people. Though the map does have enough, so that's really not our biggest urgency. It just means we have to go around the map and find them. Consider 28 of those people already live with us, so Yeah, now what is, when it gives you these stats, is that based, can you change it by the month or by the, hmm, or is that for the year? Yeah, I don't understand. It doesn't seem to me like we've had that many births considering our, well, this is actual residents, right? This isn't the kids. So we could have a whole bunch of kids coming along at some point here. Ah, the depot for buying trains. Nah, why would we do that? Yeah, I guess we should get one of those too, huh? Yeah, I think I'd like to keep it on this side. I wonder if I can snake the. It's actually kind of a big building, isn't it? Not big, big, but. Gotcha. Yeah, it's sort of. I had a little road attached there. Right, one way or the other, we can. Think we can make that work. Yeah, so another thing now. Yeah, okay. Yeah, so we can get the road in to get it built. And I guess we're definitely buying diesel trains, aren't we? So at this point, I don't know. I don't think it makes any difference which side of the track we build. Um, let's, I guess, do the left-hand side because that'll be the tighter turn, right? Yeah, we got to get across. I don't know if it's going to let me. There we go. Just a little longer than I was hoping for. You know what? That's probably kind of fine. There we go. So now we'll only be able to put a train with the first stop of over here, but down the road, I'm sure we can, you know, do something to get them going in both directions if we even need to, kind of thing. So there we go. All right, thank you. Off the rails. We needed a train depot. Good. Yeah, steel. Well, that was part of the debate. So, Alan, some of this isn't about being like, you know, the smartest and the best. It's about learning, right? This is a learning experience for all of us. We can hopefully all take away, you know, like it wouldn't have been my choice to do this, but it, like, we all kind of voted, and you know what, this is more experimental, right? Just because I wouldn't have built the rails is almost an argument for building the rails. Now, what we did do is say, because we didn't build the rails, we didn't build any kind of an oil industry. And we're kind of guesstimated that it's going to cost us 300 and some thousand if we had to build a railroad bridge across here. But so that's why we decided to build it like on the other side of the river, which cuts actually like a, I mean, just building that steel bridge alone would have been a lot of steel. You know, so we're hopefully going to cut down on that. And then the other thing is, if we build it early enough, hopefully the price of steel, what's it up to now? 470 already. See, like that steel price, you're absolutely right. That's it's gonna, I don't know. We'll see. If we fail because of it, we'll live and learn. And it's not like you're ruining your own map. You know, like, you know, some of this is about this is just about like how you get started. The hardest start. I don't think we took the hardest start. It's harder to start right over here in this valley, in this area, because there's no materials around you whatsoever. But having said that, we came over here and just started an agro business, right? We didn't, you know, we're not doing anything with the coal that's over here, and we're not doing anything with the oil that's over here. We started an agro business. So I think if you just started right over here, it's more like it's a little bit tougher to start right here because you just have no secondary business. And I'm also worried that the cost of the railroad tracks, which by the way, we didn't build and hasn't cost us anything yet, right? So it's not like until we actually start putting money down on this, it's not like we've actually done anything but plan it, right? Which doesn't cost you any money. So we'll see. And we did go with the prefabs versus the wood, which really doesn't like. I have a not spreadsheet, but a piece of paper where I wrote it all down at the beginning of the last episode, and it's just it's. I'm thinking it's going to cost us close to 300,000 for that. So we still have some money to do it, but like you said, we need to get settled. Now, one of the rules we have in this map to make it harder is that you're not allowed to build electrical unless you build a asphalt connection. So with building right across the river here, we did get an electrical connection. Well, actually we don't yet, but by the time we get this built, we'll have the paved road. We'll pave this road first up to here. And as far as I'm concerned, a paved road is close enough here, right? So in other words, if we were going to get the trucks going, we did have the problem of like paving all the way along. And that's one of the reasons for the rule is that you can't just go like, why not just build a town right here? Oh, look, I started over there and then I built a town here. So what the game kind of needs, if it wants to make itself more challenging, is a way to prevent you from being able to move from this location just to any other place on the map that you want to be. Does that make sense? So that's why I try to limit via building roads how far you can travel. Like you have to build a proper road there before you can go there. And in this case, it's just for the electric. You can build anything else you want anywhere else on the map, but you can't take electric to it unless you've actually, built the road to that point. And again, it's just a limiting thing to make it a little bit harder. Yeah, so I don't like that the stats per town are in total, but like I would wish you could. Is there any way to limit it? Like I'd like to see, like I don't see any. Oops. Yeah, I don't see any charts. You know what I mean? Like it wouldn't be bad if it was. But the in total is at least we're seeing our births are way ahead of our deaths. How are we doing on the regular map? Yeah, we've had 20 escapes, and I don't think that's from our town. So people are escaping from the map. And I guess they're dying off too, probably, But overall, there's way more births going on too. So maybe I don't really understand the full mechanics of the rest of the map, right? All right, we got it on slow mode, so that's why we're seemingly going slow. Now, what are we working on? You have a whole list of things, and you are just trying to get those special things done. So let's fast forward. We're getting close to what I would call the end of the episode. Close to 5 o'clock, my time. Yeah, so let's start focusing on not spending so much money. We have these extra things designed, but let's get this road built and that road built. And you know what? We're not even going to build this university at this point because we have 130 educated people around the map. So I think what we need to do is start looking for some of them. Like there's one of them here. There's another one. Be a little tedious, but it's not like I'm doing that much else anyway, right? And there's 3 of them right there. None right there. One there. So we'll just probably take all the people out of this town, right? 2 there. So we'll take our chances because that university is going to cost a pretty penny, and I want to get that railroad going because we're really cutting through the cash. And I know it won't be happening this week, but next week we're probably going to know whether we're going to make it or not by Oh, by the way, next week I'm not doing it. It's our 4th of July here in America. So I'm going to be going to visit with friends and family. So there won't be a live stream next week. Sorry about that. Not unless I do something. Yeah, like I wouldn't be doing it. And as far as the regular episodes go, they're going to be not so regular at that point. They're going to be done ahead of time. So let's, I don't know where. I tend to want to put people here if they're educated at all. Oh no, you know what? We don't want educated people in here. Why don't we start dividing this, now that we're getting more houses. I want to say you guys go to work in the hospital, go to work here, go to work in the school, right? And then let's fill this one up and then redistribute people, except for the, you can only send workers. No, sorry. Well, there was a lot of people in that house. Yeah, so we'll try to get the educated people to work out of this building. And they also need like non-fully university educated people in the other buildings too. So like in other words, you do need regular workers in your thing there. This residence is full. Let's put the rest in here. Then what I want to do is go around and let's take a few out of here and put them into there, and then take all the educated back out and put them into here. Right? Yeah, we got a little more room. Except I can't see. Right, so that way, I don't know that the educated people are that smart to actually not go to the uneducated places, right? So how many unemployed? We got okay, so good. We got 11 unemployed with that. Now I don't know if that's because they just showed up. They haven't quite found work yet, but we do need to get more people in this area. So let's assign. Yeah, this guy's working on that road. We can't really give this guy anything but big roads to do. Yeah, see, he's really running out of roads to do. Because I think all of these don't need mechanisms. So you know what we probably need to do is have him auto-assign to roads, but let's give him a bus. All right, no buses there. So what is the fastest bus? I always like the fastest bus because if you're doing a construction, yeah, fastest that carries more than 7 people. Yeah, I think it's this guy. So we'll give him a bus. We'll put him on auto search. I wish you could kind of select that before you did that. And then we'll... No, you know what? They didn't fix that thing. But somehow I closed all these. There we go. Oh, so when you cancel them, it doesn't just get them. Oh, there we go. He got them back. It just took him a second to rethink about it. So now he should be able to do all the small ones because he has a bus, right? The asphalt plant's not real happy. Yeah, no workers there. Probably just needs to get a bus up here. Yep. Yeah, and how are we doing? Yeah, we could use more workers. As long as we're making more than we're losing, we'll catch up here, right? And I think these houses are going to import more people. Now, another thing we could do is start getting a few footpaths for them, right? Yeah, like... so like they have a little easier time getting to town. Yeah, that's This is going to be a bit of a pain. Yeah, you won't go over there. So there, at least they have some sort of footpath options to get over there. All right, let me look at the chats again. Cool. So what do you guys think as we approach the end here? The university or not university? I mean, we're down to 400,000 and we think it's going to cost us 300,000 for the railroad tracks. And that does, I don't even think I was really counting this many buildings necessarily. I think we're going to go broke. I think the rail is a bridge too far. I just think it's too much. Especially considering, well, again, we don't have to build the university, but I really don't think we're going to get much exported. And the fact that we didn't focus on coal, and getting the power plant and coal and bricks and prefabs and in some respects, it's as important to get as self-sufficient as quickly as possible as it is to get an export. We need to have an export, but if you're not self-sufficient, as these prices creep up and up and up, I think you're just shooting yourself in the foot. We're already paying $100 or rubles more for steel just about than we were at the very beginning, And that's just going to keep going up and up and up, and I don't think we're going to catch up with it. I think we're going to just blow all our money on this railroad track where we could have spent that money doing other things that could be more immediately productive for us. But we'll see what happens. No, we added up, I went by and one single track laid all the way from there, calculating on $400 a ton for the steel to go all the way up to here would cost us 340,000. But then we did cut down on that a little bit because we didn't go across the bridge here, right? We had a bridge in my estimate, and that bridge was a good amount of the steel, 100 things of steel. It's a pretty wide river right there. But even then, it's going to cost us 200 and some thousand, and that's not even really counting all these buildings, right? So you're really I think it's going to cost us 300,000 or close to it to get the rail system set up. Yeah, exactly. But again, this is live and learn, right? If we start over in another few weeks, I'm okay with that. And I'm not going to sit there and argue with you guys when you're insisting on building the rail, right? And we don't know that it's not going to work, but I'm telling you, it's not going to work. And I didn't think it was going to work from the day we suggested it. But again, if we all vote, this is a democracy, right? And, I've just learned enough. I've played the game enough that you have to get self-sufficient really first, and it doesn't mean, part of being self-sufficient, it's all about, in some ways, this sheet and this sheet, you have to start getting here. This is a bad, last month, we were, we're negative with the constructions and all that stuff. This is what, 11,600. That's another 3,000, 14, really say 18,000, and we're only bringing in 6. So every month, if we have that kind of imbalance, we're losing $12,000 a month, and that's, if we look at it over the course of the year. And the best way you can do it is to get things, it's just focus, go slow, don't auto purchase things, auto purchase as little as humanly possible. If we looked at, last year, we were minus 500,000. Where do we lose a lot? Well, we lost a lot on auto purchasing things, but you kind of have to do in the very beginning. And then that's dollars I'm pointing at. It doesn't really make too much difference, but we're just losing money every which way when it comes to the import. 244,000, nothing exported last year. How about this year? Yeah, even just this year, since the initial construction slowed down, we're at minus 130,000 this year alone. Well, there you go, 121,000 total. Now we haven't, we didn't really spend much on foreign manpower this year, but that's only in April. We have enough money. Now some of this will be, you have to get your initial industries going. But would we have been better off working on rather than worrying about this? And look, we haven't even spent money on this yet, so we don't have to build this, right? We could change our minds. Like, would we be better off, getting the oil thing going before we worry about that? Now some of the thing is, well, yeah, we kind of needed the people. So I guess you guys get the idea. And look, it's all good. It's, like I said, it's a learning experience. Well, you don't have to pave to the border, but you would have to get a gas station far enough that your trucks could make it to the border. Like, as soon as we get this, like, think about it this way. As soon as we get this food going, right, we can get the distillery going, and alcohol has actually got a pretty good price. If every truck of alcohol, just like we did in the last time we did this, 312 per ton, and then I think you can get like 6 on a truck. So you're talking, quite a bit, like almost $2,000, $1,800 to get one load of alcohol up there. So if we could get a rail, like paved up to here, I bet you that would be far enough to get all the way up there. Remember on the last map too, we were using dirt roads because it was we just built a dirt road up there. We didn't necessarily, and by the way, like, you definitely will go twice as far almost on a gravel road on the same amount of fuel. So it's, even though this is a long and winding road, you'll go a pretty good distance. Now the problem is, once they get so far away, they run out of fuel, but then you can kind of like cheatily, they get stuck up there, and then you can send them back to the depot, and they go back to their depot even though they don't have any food, or any fuel. So I don't know if you consider that. It's certainly taking advantage of the game mechanics if you don't call it a cheat. But you could do that to get by, right? If they didn't want you to do that, then they would. But I think they do that so that you don't end up with stranded trucks, right? Otherwise, you would just, you wouldn't have any way out of that situation at that point. So anyway, yeah, we would just, what would the cost be would be, the price of the bitumen, which I'm not sure, I guess we would have to pave a section of road and see what the bitumen costs. I don't think we're going to do it today. It's already 5:00, but maybe we start out thinking about that in the next episode. Let me put it this way. If we can't do it that way, if we don't have enough money to build the railroad track and all this stuff, we have to try that way, right? like there's, I don't know of any other option. I mean, we could maybe try going in a different direction than I'm pointing. We might calculate that it's closer to go this way. I'm not, but when I say we go that way, I mean, when it comes to that, paving until we can get, that's part of the rule of the map, right? You pave far enough that you could put in an electrical outlet, so to speak, so you can run your gas station, say, up here. And then that way you don't necessarily even have to have a construction crew other than to get that office built, right? So it does sort of force you to, I guess you could just auto purchase it. We don't have a rule against that. It might be smart just to auto purchase, though. It's sort of one of my rules that we don't auto purchase that much, But certainly if you were going to auto purchase, that would be a case that you would certainly consider it better than having to build a construction office out that way, right? Where you're going to have issues with getting people that far. And it's really not that the office doesn't work. It's just that when you need workers, you just can't get them up there. But I'd be willing to auto purchase just for the sake of the experiment. But know that if you did make a rule, no auto purchasing after the beginning, that would really, really make that a harder thing. So there we go. So guys, it's pretty much 5 o'clock here in the eastern part of the United States. I survived the thunderstorm. I think I'll pause it now and we can have whatever last minute discussions or thoughts that you may have for next week. And yeah, so I think the thing for next week is considering how much money we have left now. What are we spending our money on would probably be a good question to ask, right? So let's just do last month. We can kind of extrapolate from there, right? We're paying $10,000 in delivery costs, which is a pretty big chunk of change on, it's almost 25% added to our total cost for the month. Pretty close to that anyway. And we bought some vehicles. That's fine. But then as far as what we're spending our money on, food, $1,200. Of the normal things, the biggest thing is food at $1,200, which, we could knock that expense off. Now, the reason I say that too is we can knock the alcohol expense off. If we can get to the point where we're not building all this stuff, look at that steel, $25,000, bricks, $11,000. Now, we're not buying gravel anymore, which is great, but that would also have been the argument for doing your brick factory first, especially because you have coal over here, right? So once we had coal, now I don't think coal's worth exporting, but then once you have coal, then you can start talking about you need that for your cement plant. So how much did we spend on cement? Only $701. I don't know if it would be worth building a cement plant, but then what you could do is have the prefabs, which we really didn't use any prefab panels either. So bricks were a big expense, I think, because we built last month. We probably just used some on whatever construction over here, I bet. But if you did get prefabs or bricks, then what you would do is focus on building that type of house, right? Like this is a brick house, this is a prefab. Like you would just build whatever houses use that kind of thing. Yeah, so, but whatever, we can cut down on how much money we're spending greatly here pretty shortly, right? I think we have to keep a real close eye on needing that university, but we're really kind of close to, they already have a lot of the resources on the construction site. This is just a matter of work on this one. How about this one? Oops. Why aren't you clicking for me? Really? I can't click on that. Something happening? Click on that one. I don't see the screen. Is it hidden down there or something? I have not been able to click on something before. Well, anyway, you know what? Can I go like distillery food factory? No, look, I can't. The screen must be open. The game thinks that the screen is open, I think, and it's not. Anyway. Hey, General Foxer. I'm not 100% sure what you mean. You mean other people don't put one out daily and you get to see these each day? And I'd like to know that because I had a little video I put up this morning. Thank you guys for whoever, I was just asking the question is if you wanted to see me play Hearts of Iron. And I know that when I watch series, it's annoying to me to wait 3 more days for somebody else to put up a video. It doesn't have to be every day, but I'd like it to be a little more often than every 3 days, because when you think about it, that's 2 episodes in most weeks, and then every once in a while you get 3 episodes in a week. And it seems to be kind of a trend. Guys play 3 or 4 different games, and then you don't tend to, I don't play 3 or 4 different games at a time, so, and I tend to like to watch games, that I'm playing the game, or not always, but a lot of the times, Good night, Off the Rails. Thank you for being here. Thanks for all your participation today. That was wonderful. Thank you all, everybody. Yeah, good. Well, I'd like to know what people's opinions are. A lot of these things don't really make that much difference to me. I play video games, so I don't mind playing my little KSP thing. But with the Hearts of Iron, I didn't want to get into like, I didn't want to take away from the 5 episodes a week of this to play the Hearts of Iron. So, and I don't want to cancel the KSP. I said that I was going to put a man on the moon, and I do intend to do that. And I am enjoying that. Like, from my side, it's fine. It's not, I could go on playing the KSP. It was just a request from Gas Mask, who was here on the live stream, and he's actually mentioned it twice. So I thought, well, you know what? I enjoy Hearts of Iron, and I've been playing a little bit more recently, and not too much, but in the evening, if I'm not doing anything else, I've played it for a few hours and just started relearning it. It's a pretty in-depth game, and just thought, well, let me just get people's opinion. It doesn't make too much difference to me either way. Yeah, thank you, Shunter. I enjoyed it. Yeah, thanks all of you guys, and thanks for your support in general. I do appreciate it, no doubt. It's been a good thing playing this game, and I really enjoy it. That's the best part about it. Like, I've thought about that before too. It's like, sometimes when you do something as regularly as I'm recording this, it's hard to be enthusiastic about it. But I just really do enjoy this game, so it's not a burden to come in and make the videos and to do this, right? Not that I wouldn't stick through those days anyway, but at the same time, it's been very enjoyable. And all of your support and all that stuff has been off the charts, like really, and thank you guys for that. See you, Proof Bear. And Buddha Speaks, good night. Yeah, good night, everybody. I will probably do my normal thing in a minute here and just leave it on mute so everybody could say goodbye at that point. Pietro did not get his oil this week, so if he watches this later on, sorry about that, buddy. We'll get to that eventually. And by next week, or I'm sorry, 2 weeks from now, we'll have to decide, which way we go with our measly 380,000 that we have left. Thank you, General Foxer. I'm glad you enjoyed it. And I have a regular stream or a regular YouTube series. If you guys haven't seen that, I don't know if any of you are new. I know they put up a new for streamers thing on the so if you guys are interested in more live streams, if you go to the Discord for Workers and Resources, they'll have a list that people can post that they're live streaming. So if you guys are interested in seeing who else is live streaming, I would go there. I put my little notice up there. So anyway, take care, guys, and have a good day, and thank you very much, and bye-bye.